been injured in an accident, one thing leads to another. Your injury leads to treatment. Treatment leads to hospital bills. Bills lead to debt. Debt leads to stress. The advocates can help relieve that stress. Having an advocate attorney on your side leads to faster resolutions, fair outcomes, and a peaceful recovery for you. You deserve an advocate.
This is The Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find The Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, The Monty Show, live on Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025. Hello. Just 15 days to go. That's 2 weeks and 1 day. And then I'm out this piece. Man. Heading to La Francais to have some croissant. Gonna go see Chelsea play football in London. I don't know what you guys are gonna be doing. Missing me, that's what you're gonna be doing. I know what you're gonna be doing. Yeah, it's been that kind of day. The Monty Show presented by The Advocates at theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. 24/7, 365. The Advocates are always available for you. Hand the Advocates the claims process. Let them fight the fight they fought so many times, and more importantly, the fight they've won with your insurance company. Repeatedly, they have represented people in injury claims who would not have been able to take on the big insurance industry on their own. That's where the Advocates come in. When you've been in a car accident, you got hurt at work, maybe your neighbor's dog bit you, you slipped and fell on the ice. Hey, you didn't deserve that. You didn't deserve to be in that accident, but you do deserve an advocate. Clear, risk-free advice, 24/7, 365 at theadvocates.com. Young Jake, hello to you.
Hello.
No Kalani news today. Can we start by talking about crumble cookies? Because I know this is I know this is a cool story, and I know that BYU fans are all swole in the limbs over oh, look at the crumble cookie guy. Right? Like we all have heard it. We all saw James Franklin with crumble cookies at Virginia Tech. Like, we all saw that Penn State got over a dozen boxes of crumble cookies delivered to their football facility today while no recruits were there to eat them. But let's be very honest. Jake, do you think that the crumble cookie guy saved Kalani Sitake at BYU?
I don't think he was solely responsible for saving Kalani. I think that he was the one that sort of sparked the donor wave and all of the, the Ryan Smiths of the world to start getting involved. I mean, maybe he was just the first one that got involved on Twitter. Maybe he was, okay, cool. Maybe there was something behind the scenes. All right. But certainly he certainly started the fire publicly, without a doubt.
I think it's a cool narrative. I don't think he had anything to do with it. You know what I think he did? I think he took advantage of a marketing opportunity around something he's passionate about, which is where magic happens. When you market in relation to something you're passionate about, you're usually going to do well. I think that's what you saw Crumble Cookie do the other day, because by the time that tweet came out, Kalani Sitake was already in a meeting with Brian Santiago, the athletic director at BYU. And that's the conversation that sealed the return of Kalani Sitake to Provo, Utah. That conversation. And I think Lavelle Edwards' widow played a huge role in keeping Kalani Sitake at BYU. I think that Bronco Mendenhall, I think all of the mentors that Kalani Sitake talks to, because, again, I think it's important. As we talked about on the show, and I have told you, Kalani Sitake regularly gets phone calls. And not to pat myself on the back, but if you watched one Kalani Sitake's press conference yesterday, you heard him pretty much repeat chapter and verse what we reported on this show, that there was a significant meeting and conversation with Brian Santiago. that operations, that it wasn't money that was standing between Kalani and BYU, that facilities, all of the talk we had about facilities where Oak State James dropped his DNA down his thigh and was all excited about, well, see, what I had meant to say was like facility upgrades, detail upgrades, all those things we talked about on the show. But I love the crumble cookie story. I think it's cool. I think it's neat. It's something for people to hang on to. But if we're telling the truth, it's not really at all related to how Kalani Sitake stayed in Provo. And if you read the Deseret News description of how the whole thing played out, it's exactly what we were reporting on the show. So I think it's a cool narrative. It is pretty cool, Jake. I don't know that we've ever seen crumble.
I think that, the CEO, a CEO getting involved to save college football coach who, needed to stay here and is having the best year and one of the best years in the program's history, certainly the best year in the modern era.
Yeah.
It's just got the cake has all the ingredients, and, we're just looking for anything to feel good about, I feel like, in Provo. And, we're also in the full, denial mode that the CFP committee is going to pipe you if you don't win the Big 12 game, the Big 12 championship game. So, I think that's also playing into it. I think people want something fun to kind of rally around. And
I would agree.
Things like, culturally speaking in Provo, things like Crumble and Swig and, different brands like that are a big deal.
Yeah.
So it's not surprising to me at all that this crumble cookie thing, took off. I personally love the troll job that there's crumble cookie outside of Penn State's administration building. That's incredible. I love that James Franklin had crumble cookie at the press conference. This is what happens
so good.
when you want to do what the Knuckle Deep Boys did. This is karma coming back around. And nobody has a problem giving you the bird and rubbing it in your face. This is what happens, dude. We're seeing real world, examples of it. So I just, I do find it entertaining, and I do love that people can troll Penn State in a respectful way that doesn't involve, flag planting or any type of violence. I do think that it's enjoyable.
Well, that's nice. And it was nice not to talk about who got screwed by the college football playoff until, then after that, the college football playoff released their rankings, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I do think this, again, highlights, one, how good looking I am, but also,
biologics.
How screwed Penn State is. And I think this is... I don't think we have ever seen this from what is allegedly a blue blood program. I don't think we have ever seen this. And it is shocking to me today that we get another coach, Jeff Brom at Louisville, saying thanks, but no thanks. He interviewed, talked to Penn State. By most accounts, it never got close or serious. And Pete Thamel at ESPN.
The four-letter.
He is reporting, Pete Thamel is reporting that Jeff Brom has told Louisville he is not interviewing for other jobs and is remaining at Louisville. And then I tried to tell, and I know I never get anything right. I know I never get anything right. Tried to tell you that Brian Hartline was not going in the Big Ten, was not going to a competitor. Brian Hartline goes to USF. I said that on the show yesterday.
Stay hard.
I could see Big 12, absolutely. He goes to USF. Another candidate out the window. Bob Chesney, hired by UCLA, did not want to interview at Penn State. At the end of the day, they had preliminary conversations, allegedly. But does anybody know who Bob Chesney's agent is? Oh, that's right. Jimmy Sexton.
Oh.
Bob Chesney never interviewed and then took the UCLA job. And here's the thing that I really struggle with. we joke, and not really even joke, but the Knuckle Deep Boys, Epstein Island, Pedo State,
Happy Ending Valley.
but this is Penn State football. Penn State football is still, was recently one of the marquee jobs in the country. James Franklin fired, shocked the world, because this is Penn State. And I'm not a believer. I was listening to Get Up this morning, and I heard people talking about how this brand and its fan base deserves better. Does it? No. But you are Penn State. You are Penn State's not a blue blood, but Penn State is one of the biggest brands in the Big Ten, and nobody wants the job. That's what I can't get over. You're as deep in the dung as you are with the Sandusky Paterno sexual abuse stuff that you're never getting away from. At the end of the day, you're still Penn State. You still have access to the national championship. And nobody wants the job. You have access to some of the best trench talent in the country in your own backyard. And nobody wants the job. You have resources financially and facility-wise that are going to be top of the mountain, and nobody wants the job. I don't know how we got here. And maybe this is all the Sanduskification karma coming back to haunt you. But nobody wants the job. And you are in a position where the Pagulas, who are titans of industry, donors and alumni at Penn State, owners of the Buffalo Bills, are advocating for Brian Daboll. And that might be the only candidate you have. Because it does not appear that Matt Campbell's interested at all in this job. And I was talking to somebody in the know today who was saying, well, if Matt Campbell wanted this job, you can't say, well, he's waiting for the season to end. Because Matt Campbell's pretty well let it be known that he will not interview or talk to other universities during a football season. Well, the football season's over now, and it was a tragic one. And if you wanted to hire Matt Campbell, you could have done that. Yeah, the problem is you didn't do that. And all of these coaches have been hired. Will Stein got hired today at Kentucky officially. Tosh LaPoy's at Cal. Who's at Penn State? Who's going to Penn State? The answer is I have no idea, because this one's a little surprising. The Jeff Brom, that's a guy I thought you could have had a shot at. But again, what did we talk about on the show yesterday? There is allegedly a blacklist where no sitting head coach will interview for that job. How true is that? I don't know. Kalani Sitake interviewed for that job. But now we know, never flew out there. I think I told you that on Monday.
Oh, Monty, he's flying out there in the middle of the night. He's not getting ready for tech.
Monty, you just want to pat yourself on the back, fat ass. I do. Let me push the elbow back.
Hey, get those stretches in.
He never flew out to Penn State. He never. I know Penn State fan disagrees with me on that, and you're all up in my TikToks, and he never flew out to Penn State.
Well, Penn State fan is pissed about Kalani because they were out here saying it was a done deal, and how could he pick BYU over Penn State and deal with it? Yeah, they were all out here saying that, and I just think it's, I don't know. Okay, why do you think this whole blacklist narrative exists? Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But let's say that it is true for Jimmy Sexton clients, because that was the narrative. Hey, if you're a Jimmy Sexton client and you're a sitting head coach, you are not to interview for that job. That Jimmy, for whatever reason, is not about that. And I don't know if that's because Jimmy views that as a bad job, or I don't get it.
James Franklin's his client, and they ripped the rug out from under James Franklin, 3 months ago now, I think. I can tell you, I mean, that is what it is. And I think when you start looking at the fact that every available candidate has a job, I think John Summerall's got a job. Lane Kiffin's got a job. Golish has a job. I mean, you look at all of these guys, like Silverfield got a job. Again, Tosh Lapoy got a job. Will Stein got a job. How many guys?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's clear that you're going to have to get outside the box here. I mean, I think any of the traditional names that were available obviously aren't available, which means you're going to have to start going to the Dayballs of the world, or if Mike Tomlin gets fired, or stop it, dude. It's not good, dude.
You say a lot of stupid shit on this show on a pretty regular basis.
I mean,
if Mike Tomlin gets that job, I'll cut your arm off. Like, there's no way. There's no way he's getting that job.
Listen, we've had so much to talk about. I haven't had time to, stretch my arm muscles over the Steelers dumpster fire currently taking place.
What's that got to do with Aaron Rodgers?
Well, there's plenty to do with Aaron Rodgers, but we can get to that. I don't think Mike Tomlin would take the Penn State job, but yeah, I mean, I think Dayball, but then there are people talking about Penn State, having to look at, the Grudens or the Orgerons. And I'm like, dude, they're not going to look at those guys. I mean, you
can't hire John Gruden for that gig.
Yeah, you're telling me you're that desperate, dude. I mean, hell, why don't you just go and hire an assistant or somebody that's already in the building and just be good with sucking next year, and then find a guy the next cycle? Like, I don't know what else you do here, dude. Like, and it really is what you said. Like, it really is that they thought like that they're Penn State and they're an elite job and dudes are all about it and everyone's gonna want to take this job and we're gonna have this filled in like 5 minutes. And dude, you're 90 days into looking for a coach, and everyone and their mom hired somebody, and you haven't. Like, I don't think we've really ever seen this before.
The one that really stuns me is Bob Chesney. That was the right guy, the right hire at the right time, the hotshot recruiter, the local guy. You never even had the conversation at a high level. And then to get turned down by Brett Bielema.
That's
allegedly. To get turned down by Luke Fickell, allegedly. It just feels like karma coming back and smacking Penn State, and that you tried to undercut Kalani Sitake and BYU. And I don't think it's a slight, but it feels like Kalani Sitake was a Hail Mary because you couldn't get anybody else. And Terry Smith, listen, I know that Terry Smith is a guy that Penn State fans are like, well, we've had our guy at home already. Well, he's the guy who's been overseeing this recruiting cycle. And how did that work out for you? Now, I also understand it's awfully difficult to recruit if you're Terry Smith, knowing that you're probably not going to be the guy. And Penn State's gone out of their way to make it painfully obvious they don't want you to be the guy. But, I mean, come on, bruh. At some point, you have to be, or excuse me, come on, bruh. At some point, you have to be able to. I mean, how do you convince somebody to take this job now? You have zero recruits coming in. You're looking at National Signing Day, and we can sit here and I can tell you, hey, bruh. I can tell you that USC absolutely owned the day on National Signing Day. Like, you look at the offensive lineman flips, you look at the skill position flips, you look at the D tackles, like, holy bejesus. USC dominated the day.
Present.
Penn State ain't even in the comp. They're not even, I think they are not in the top 100 which is shocking.
But is it really surprising?
Yes.
Like, well, they don't have a coach, dude. I mean, kids aren't going to go there if they don't know who they're playing for.
But isn't that the conversation? You should be the coach at Penn State and finish in the top 50. I guess. If you just look at the offensive line stuff, you're getting out recruit. I'm pretty certain that they have 2 commits and they're like 150th in the country, and they're getting out recruited by Florida Atlantic, Middle Tennessee, Northern Arizona, Nevada, UMass, right? You look at Wyoming and as crappy of a class, and it is crappy that UCF, I think this is where's our guys in Orlando? Bro, UCF, this is an absolute disaster.
And with all due respect,
they're 93rd in the Big 12.
How has he still got a job? How?
Bro. But you look at UCLA. UCLA's 83rd with 14 commits. You're 150th with 2 commits. But what? Has Bob Chesney had his introductory... Yeah, is it Bob Chesney had his introductory press conference yet?
Bro.
I mean, this is unbelievable. I don't know. I'm probably making too much out of it.
I mean, it is crazy to say that Penn State's recruiting class is that ass, but I mean, I can't say that I'm that surprised given they don't have a head coach, and I just think that this is a cautionary tale. Like you can't just whack dudes with no backup plan and assume that the market is going to be salivating over you, especially in a cycle that we all knew. Dude, you and I on this very program, we're talking about it in August, that bros were going to get whacked, that there were going to be a bunch of jobs open, that like we were people were talking about Lane. We were talking about Lane. Like, it was obvious, dude. Hell, we haven't even gotten to Kleiman and K-State yet. Like, you knew that people were going to be out of jobs. You knew this was going to be a heavy cycle for head coaches. Yet you still thought it was a good idea to fire dude without a backup plan? Because I guarantee you, bro didn't just call James and like, hey, you're fired, without talking to all his little schemer friends in the boardroom, dude. Like,
just looking at the recruiting numbers, the list of universities: UTEP, Western Kentucky. And you want to talk about another disaster? How about Baylor at 84th?
Wolf of Wall Street
with 11 commits.
Monty, they've got to keep Dave so they can reinvest in the program and hit the NIL and recruiting trail and do all these great things. Times have changed.
Oh, yeah, Jake, get the piano music out. Can you please get the piano music out? Chad Carter. Chad Carter's given us $5. Notre Dame, our mother. Your thoughts and prayers during this trying time. Miss you already, Coach. It's got to be tough now that he's at Penn State as the head coach of... I mean, Brian Hartline's at Penn State, right?
Oh.
Right. Oh, wait. No, that's right. He went to USF.
Bro chose a group of 5 school over your sorry ass.
Do you know?
Dude, unreal.
Listen, if we're keeping it a buck, Penn State's ass, of course.
Is Penn State below ass at this point?
No, they're below a buck, though. Look, if we're keeping it a nickel and a couple of pennies at Penn State, if we're keeping it 8 cents,
right now, we ass.
If we keep it at 8 cents right now, we ass.
I want that known.
I'm telling you now, Brian Hartline is going to be sensational. And I think he will be the next head coach at Ohio State. But
Ohio State?
This is the right move for his career. This is a home run hire for USF. On campus stadium coming, like, it's home run hire. Oh my God, David Persons. You ain't even play the piano music, Jake, please.
Okay, here we go. Yes.
I usually don't pat myself on the back while the music's playing. I'll go with the left hand over the right shoulder. K-State, this is the necessary move. And you look at the fact that, listen, and this is, you want to talk about bad football in the state of Kansas. I don't even know what you say about Leitold and the knife and Tortillaville and.
Let's wind the clocks back a year.
But now that Kleiman's out at K-State, I mean, the portal is going to be, I think they're going to lube it just to make sure all the dudes get in there without chafing.
You got to get stroked.
Because my feeling, K-State's in a tough spot. And
Well,
you want to
I
talk
mean,
about a fan base that deserves better. K-State fan deserves better.
Well, yeah,
'Cause
did
we've
they
had
deserve better when he got run out of there? When Will Howard was terrible and he was trash and, Avery's a better guy. And it was all about the
Avery
quarterback.
for Heisman.
Yeah.
Remember all
you
that
guys are
garbage on the
idiots.
show?
He shouldn't go to Tennessee. Okay, how's that looking now, dude? Now, how's that looking now? Another ass
Brutal.
season and your coach is stepping down. Maybe you should have went to the SEC. Just a
Brutal.
thought. Maybe you should have gone and joined Heupel. Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, I don't even know how you I don't even know how you do this. I'm not even sure how you figure this out. I'm not even sure how I don't know, because I think this is really, really difficult. I think it is one of those things where you have to find a way, somehow, some way. You have to find a way to get the mix and the energy up in Manhattan, because that fan base wants it. They need it. And I think that you absolutely have to have it. And I really don't know how you fix it. If we're being real, Avery Johnson's not your guy. Avery Johnson's not a guy that can carry that team to a conference championship. He is not a quarterback that you can count on. And I just don't know. You need to tear that thing to the ground and rebuild it. And I think that is something that you can do. And I think that's what's unique about where you are. And I think that it's going to be very interesting to see how all this plays out. I think it's going to be very interesting. But
yeah, I don't think that the head coaching position in college football is any more a game that the 80-year-old or 70-year-old coach can do. I think that this is a young man's game. I think that the coach of yesteryear needs to retire and resign and step down, and needs to be backfilled with the younger candidate who's willing to basically put his family second and be so in love with the job that he is doing it 24/7, 360 days out of the year. I think that, you can't have the coach who's just kind of riding on the salary, not taking it too seriously, and, doesn't really understand what's required on the recruiting trail anymore to get the best talent. Like, again, with all due respect, K-State is not a top tier option, right? Like you're vying for second tier players, and that's fine, but you can't be losing. You can't have a situation in the Big 12 where the second tier players are going to the likes of BYU and Tech and Arizona State because they're willing to pay them more and do more with them. And like, K-State needs to have energy. K-State needs to be what it was when Will Howard was there and you were competing for the conference. Because again, the expectation this year was that you were going to compete for a conference championship, and you haven't been anywhere near that. And you weren't that guy right after the Iowa State game, right out the gate this year. So I feel bad for K-State fan. I think that you need to learn the lesson about running dudes out of Manhattan. And I think you need to be patient with who the next guy is and how long it's going to take to be good again.
yeah, I think it's really difficult in Manhattan right now. And I think that Colin Klein is obviously that's a legacy hire, and I love it. I think it's a great hire, and I think that you could have done a lot worse. I just don't know. I just don't know how all of this plays out. because I want this to be the home run hire that it should be. And I want this to be something that is, I want to remember Chris Kleiman as a guy that did so much at K-State, and I think he did. And obviously, I just don't know how high is the ceiling in Manhattan at K-State? How high is it? Is that a conference championship level program? Of course it is. They've already been there. But is that what we're playing for now? Is that who we are right now? It doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like that's what we're trying to do. Right? Like it doesn't feel like that to me anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're not going to the CFP, what's the point of playing football at this level for that kind of money?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more, man. Like, I think that the head coaches in college football that run these programs that, fans want to say, oh man, like he's been here so long and what a great coach. Like, God, I mean, I don't know, like Ferentz is a great example. Well, dude hasn't done anything in how long? Like, when's the last time any noise came out of that program? And you got people out here celebrating him like he's winning the national championship every year. Like, that's the problem in college football right now. And I just think that whether you're looking at Baylor, whether you're looking at, K-State, I mean, again, like I think Texas Tech, BYU, Utah to an extent, but again, Kyle Whittingham, like these programs are showing you what it takes, and you're either going to do it or you're not going to do it. And I think that if you don't do it, you can't be mad that you're not winning. Like it just is what it is.
Yeah, we'll see. I love the Colin Klein hire. I think what he did at A&M, that offense obviously sucks. They lost that last game, but it is what it is, right? But he's a home run hire at K-State, obviously. So, yeah. Joey wants to know, is that a golf shirt under the poofy vest? Is that the salmon golf shirt?
It is one of two salmon golf shirts I have. Yes, that's right.
Why do you even have one? You've got two.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. Let's get into the comment section. We are vesting. Monkey Man says that's a great vest, Jake, and I think he's jealous. Look at all that. Look at all that fur he's got, and he's got no vest.
Yeah, you got to put a vest on, dude. It is what it is, man.
You got to vest up.
Yeah, vest up.
Tex Max Barbecue. PJ Fleck hasn't won a Big Ten championship or a CFP game, has he? No. Is he a good hire? That doesn't feel like it. Disdain says Penn State should have taken Heartline while they had the chance. They didn't have the heart. They didn't have a chance. Penn State never had access to Heartline.
Yeah, I don't think he was ever going there, man.
Never had access. So, Scoop says Arizona is building a good team. Definitely on the upswing. No doubt. No doubt about that. Gumby says Jack going full salmon eggs.
Right.
Okay. If Alabama loses and Duke wins, does CFP put Miami in over Notre Dame to get an ACC team in? No. I think I guess we're going to do it.
I hate this conversation, dude. I really despise it, but at the same time, like, it is what everyone's talking about.
I hate this conversation, and I'm a little burned out on it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, and I it's probably you guys because I'm not that smart. But I don't think you can fix the CFP selection process. I've heard all kind of wackadoo ideas. One release of rankings at the end of the year. How does that work? Well, do you think ESPN's just going to give away the money every week? Because they make huge money on it. Do you understand what ESPN and ABC are paying for the college football playoffs?
Yeah, I don't think that people realize there's a show every week around releasing the results or whatever, the rankings.
And look at the marketing money they make on that. Look how much money they make on that. A ton. I mean, a ton of money. Disney, ABC, and ESPN make on the replays, on the bugs in the corner, where like you look at the way that when you see the CFP videos and you see the explanations and you start, like, you just see all their sponsorship there. You like,
yeah, there's an ass load of money.
They're
that
making
goes
a
into
ton
it.
of money on it.
Yeah.
Do you think they're just going to let that go? No. Plus, on top of all that, do you know how many people are like, oh, it's a scam to get Alabama in? Like, I love the fan right now who's like, oh, ESPN's bowing down to the SEC. I worked at ESPN and nobody ever told me what to say. You got to talk about the SEC here, Monty. It doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way. And at the end of the day, isn't what we're doing right now, this discussion, this conversation, isn't this what's good about the college football playoff selection process? The fact that the biggest college football shows in the world are all talking about, well, Alabama got helped out and Notre Dame got screwed, and look at BYU. Right? Like, is the ACC going to get a team in? Like, how many, like, we're consistently talking about this stuff week in and week out. And somehow we think this should come to an end, because I'm telling you it shouldn't come to an end. I don't think it needs to be fixed. And I certainly don't think, like I was listening to a national radio show last night who was saying, oh, we've got to have 24 teams. This is why okay, well then what are you going to say to 25 and 26?
That we need 32.
Where does it end? It never ends. And I don't think there is a fix. I think what we need to do is take, in my opinion, the opinions out of it and build a system where wins and losses determine if you're in or you're out. That's called a Super League. It solves so many problems, it's probably too common sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a combination that needs to take place. So in the NFL, you've got, obviously, everything's decided on the field, and we can kind of project forward. And that's got pros and cons, right? I mean, if you look at the NFL this year, I would say that this is one of the worst years the NFL's had in quite some time. Like, the big boys aren't really doing their thing. The Chiefs aren't going to make the playoffs. You've got the Bengals sucking. The Bills are not great. Like, we're talking about a 11-2 Patriot team now. Okay, cool. Man, I am just so fired up. Like, that's the problem for the NFL. We can kind of forecast forward. But with this situation, I do feel like there's a happy medium. Like, I think in my perfect world, we would still have human beings in a certain part of the process, which would be, hey, we're and I don't know what you would do with the schedule or anything, but basically you got teams playing, they're trying to get into a rank, a stack, a bracket. And then from there is no more reseeding. There is no more nothing, right? This is our pool of teams, and we're going to randomly select the matchups, and that's that. Like, if you're one of the best teams in America, you should be able to beat anybody. And it's still my biggest gripe with the whole situation, because you can't take out the fact that ESPN's matchmaking in this. You can't take out the fact that if you look at a bracket, if you look at how they seed some of these, we should just be okay with the fact that, yeah, they do want Alabama and Ty Simpson in, because that would be a way better matchup than Carson Beck and that ass offense, dude. That offense is terrible. Like, Ruben Bain is the only reason Miami is where they are. And it would be a better matchup and a better TV situation to have another SEC team and Alabama in the playoff, because they've dominated the playoff era. Like, that's what people don't want to say. Yeah. So I'm here. If BYU fan is upset, which you are, and I understand why you are, like, I'm here for that conversation and we could talk about it. But this is good for the game. The only people that don't like it are the politicians that want to try to get their hand in the pot. That's why you see all these congressional videos and politicians talking about how it's rigged and it's like that's all drama. The truth is that everyone talking about this is good for the game. And once we're all on board with that, then I think we can talk about matchups and all the other
And listen,
stuff.
I'm a Notre Dame fan, and I'm telling you, I'm fine with the system. We don't belong in the college football playoff. I mean, I was DMing with Chaboy Rock and Rant last night. I don't think we belong in the college football playoff. I've been saying that for how long? I think I told you this after week 2, where we absolutely, crapped ourselves again. We're gonna run the table, and people are gonna hype Notre Dame into the college football playoff, right where we don't belong. And I think the system is fatally flawed. And I mean the system of college football. That doesn't mean we need to, we need a new college football system. That's what we need. We don't need a new college football playoff. We don't need everybody and their brother gets in, right? We don't need that. What we need is to have a system where wins and losses determine who wins the divisions and who wins the conferences and who are the wild cards. It's called the NFL system for a reason. And I'm just it's frustrating to me that we have to continually have conversations about teams like BYU, who's 11-1 and has the single best loss in the country. And yet they're going to be on the outside looking in. And I think it's an absolute travesty. BYU should, and I don't even care if they win or lose on Saturday, they should be in the college football playoff. You cannot make an argument, and I don't care if you're over the top about Miami. BYU has a far better case than Miami. BYU has a better case than everybody except Alabama, and I think Alabama should be in. I for one, do not believe that Texas should be in. I do not believe Notre Dame should be in. I don't believe that Miami or anybody else in the ACC should be in. If Duke wins the championship, I don't believe that the ACC should have a team in the college football playoff. That's the system you built. At least follow the system. But will we? Probably not. Probably not. Phil Venzer, is it time for Notre Dame to consider joining the Big Ten? No.
Let's settle this right now.
Well, again, this comes up all the time.
Why do we always go to this with Notre Dame?
Why would we join a conference? I don't know. Big Pontiff for $10. This smacks of arrogance. Penn State thought they were bigger than they really are. They thought everyone wanted to date them and found out they aren't hot. I totally agree. I think they thought everybody would be banging down their door for this job, and nobody is. I tend to believe the folks who say that Penn State has not been close to hammering out an agreement. I don't think they've been close, because I am the one who sat here and told you Kalani never agreed to take that job. He never, I love all these Penn State fans who are like, oh, there was a handshake agreement. No, there wasn't. Kalani Sitake never agreed to take that job. Kalani Sitake said, I need time to think about it. I need to, and I said this the other day, Kalani Sitake told Penn State, I need some time for reflection, and I need to talk to people. I need to consult some folks. And I will get back to you. And he did. And what was his reflection? Well, I'm going to meet with everybody at BYU, and I'm going to try and build a management vision that works for me. And he did. So were they really close to hiring Kalani Sitake?
No.
No, not when he's working earnestly to build an existence at BYU that works for him. Is he really close to leaving? Would he have? Yeah, I think he would have. But was he working to leave, or was he working to stay? Well, he was working to stay. He was working to stay. And I think that matters. I do. David Persons for $5. Also, Is there anything to the rumors that Gary Patterson and TCU are talking about him returning? I don't think there is. I saw that from idiot-faced podcasters that were like, oh, hey, Gary Patterson and TCU had their run. I would also point out that you have a coach. So I would probably chill with that. But hey, listen, I know that's just my opinion. But do you have an opening? And aren't you way too late if you wanted to have an opening now? Are we really firing a coach now? I mean, you look at Kansas State, they clearly had a succession plan. Do we believe that TCU has that? With all due respect.
No.
I don't think so. Right? And I think once the cycle got rolling and you hadn't made the decision to let Sonny go, I don't think that you could have let him go now. I think that you let him go and it's a mistake. That flies off the manure pile now. That's probably too much.
Probably, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I think we'll never know what the financials are on firing Sonny Dykes. I have a feeling it's not cheap. And can you imagine TCU paying a $35 million buyout for Sonny Dykes? Somehow I don't see that. I don't see that happening. And if you are TCU and you fire Sonny Dykes now, are you getting a better candidate? I'm going to say you're probably not getting a better candidate. And I think that's part of the problem. And I think the other part of this isn't TCU a top 40 recruiting class? Believe it or not. I want to say they passed Utah and Houston today.
I think that sometimes in college football,
yeah, they're 36th.
Sometimes
36.
in college football, these programs need to get comfortable with the idea that it's worth it to the old adage of, hey, like we need to fix the brown spots on our lawn instead of firing the guy and looking elsewhere. Sometimes, if you're TCU, if you're K-State, like K-State had a succession plan, okay, great. But like if you're Baylor, you're trying to, your message was, hey, we're not firing Dave because we want to reinvest in the program. But like that to me is silly because you should have done that 3 years ago if you were going to do it. Like with TCU, this is a guy who has shown the ability to have success in the CFP model, right? I mean, he's shown you that, but it was sort of a one-hit wonder. And so the question is not whether Sonny is capable of it. The question is how does he build a process that produces a CFP berth or at least a conference title appearance year in and year out? And what does that look like? Because I don't think that Sonny just forgot how to coach. But what I do think is that it's typically either you don't have a good enough staff overall, right? Like your assistants aren't good enough, or your quality control is not good enough. Whatever it might be, there's a hole in your game somewhere that's leading you to make mistakes. Like again, your defense is ass. You have a good offense, your defense sucks. Yeah. Okay, cool. Probably need a new DC. Probably need a new defensive staff. Okay, great. We can work with that. That's a place to start. If nothing changes, but your defense gets better, you're a better football team. You're winning more games next year if you just did that. So I think when again, this transformational cycle has just happened and all the G6 guys and then all the P4 guys all got new jobs and there's not obvious candidates out there, it's time to double down on what you have. And sometimes you got to do that in life, dude. Sometimes it's not about buying the new thing or getting to the next place. Like sometimes you just have to do what you can do to improve your current spot. And I think these guys don't want to do that sometimes. But TCU specifically, I feel like really needs to embrace that.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. BYU has a chance. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Excellent point. Excellent point, Blutarski. Geoff, my guy, what's up, man? Would be incredible, though, if BYU beat Tech, though, because it would turn their whole world upside down. Can you imagine 2 from the Big 12 in?
It's not going to happen, bro. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I will say, and I know you guys, if you watch this show at all, you know that Jake hates Bear Bachmeier, and it's personal. I was watching some Bear Bachmeier tape last night. I think his growth has been explosive. I cannot tell you how much better this cat is every month. Every month. Like the little things that he's done. The front leg thing is a huge problem. He's a straight leg thrower, and it costs him accuracy when he tries to throw with velocity. He's not accurate. And a lot of, obviously, that's a 12 to 20 yard window that we're talking about. And it's a huge problem against better defenses. But what I think, watching all of his snaps against Tech, he made no decisions. His brain was off. He made no decisions. He was so shell-shocked, I think. And I think the atmosphere intimidated him. Now, Saturday, that's not going to be an issue because BYU fan travels exceptionally well. And I don't think it's going to be an issue for the game Saturday. I think he will be more than fine. And I think that he will be a much better performer. And I still can't find a way for BYU to win this game because I think Tech's defense, they're just so they were so dominant up front. Just so dominant. And I think LJ Martin would have to run for 8 million yards. I think that'd be a record. But my point is, I think it would be very, very difficult to see, like, because you look at the numbers in that game, and when you put the numbers on top of the tape, you just realize that, I mean, BYU is 3 of 14 on third down. They 3 of 14.
Yeah, I just didn't feel like it was competitive. They only had
255 total yards. Like, no, it wasn't.
Yeah, and
it wasn't.
And listen, it wouldn't. To be clear, my issue with BYU in this matchup is not just Bear. Although he is a limitation without a doubt, and I agree his growth has been explosive. He has gotten better. There's no that's
well,
not
yesterday you said he was
question.
incompetent, and you said he was incompetent, and he sucks.
No, what I think is that he's a straight leg thrower who doesn't have the ability right now to throw it through Tech's defense to a level where they can compete. I just don't think he's got that ability within him with his current mechanics. Will he change them? Will he get better?
I would agree with that.
Who
I would
knows?
agree with that.
I'm sure he will. I agree. He'll go and see the boys. They'll dial him up. Okay, well, that's going to be next year's Bear Bachmeier. I'm talking about this year's Bear Bachmeier. I'm not.
And
confident.
I think, well, but Jake, I think the biggest issue is with his limitations. You know what he does? It really hurts LJ Martin in a game like this because if you give LJ Martin half a step in the hole, it's over. Right. But when you have the domination up front that Tech has, and they're getting home to Bear Bachmeier, there's no reason for you to take that half step back because you don't respect the passing game.
Yeah. Why would your safeties be any more than 8 to 10 yards from the line of scrimmage? Why? What are you scared of? If you look at Parker Kingston's biggest plays this year, it's missed tackles primarily that allow him to get going. And Tech is usually a pretty disciplined tackling team. BYU is not traditionally this year been the team that's going to burn you over the top. Do they have some plays? Sure. But against good competition, the best teams in the league, BYU's success is getting out on the edge. And I swear to God, in this game, and this really upset me the last time BYU played Tech, I don't want to see running between the tackles against Texas Tech in this game. Just stop. Don't do it. It's not your strength. You should be out on the edge. You should be running some option. You should be working your ass off in the screen game this week, preparing for this game. Like, I want to see dominant wide receiver blocking. I want to see you committed to getting 5 yards out of pretty much each and every screen that you throw. And again, this is, maybe I'm a red ass, this is where the straight leg thing comes in. Because to throw a good screen pass, it's got to be out in front of them on a line. It can't float. It can't hesitate. You just got to have full confidence in that thing. So I just don't see a way where BYU is, to me, within 10 points of this Texas Tech team with the things they're dealing with.
Yeah, because I'm not telling you BYU's offensive line is bad. They're just not great. They're not playing at a high level. And I think LJ Martin has covered a lot of that up because he's very good after contact. And if you look at yards after contact, they were almost none against Texas Tech. I mean, I think he averaged 2.5 yards, or they averaged 2.5 yards a carry. I think Moa is going to be back this week, which is a nice pickup, but that's going to be, I think we never saw BYU's offense, watching the tape of that Texas Tech matchup, we never saw BYU's offense in full bloom in that game. It just, they never got off the bus fully. So, and I don't think that's changing. And I understand the games in Tarrant County, boy.
And I understand that everyone's saying, oh, well, hey, it's the old adage that it's difficult to beat a team twice in one season. But I just don't think that I think that that's doing a disservice to Texas Tech's quality. Like,
I would agree.
I don't have Texas Tech as the 4th best team in the country. I think that's extremely generous. I think that Texas Tech is probably a top 7 team if you were to put them up against other SEC teams, and
I would agree with
some of the other characters.
And it's mainly because of the questions about Baron Morton. I think it's just really difficult to. It's really difficult to project. Barron struggled against BYU's defense. I thought Barron got hit in that game. Mm-hmm. He was hobbled in that game. I thought BYU played pretty well against the run at times for stretches, but obviously when you get extended,
so much.
When you get extended like that, it's going to be tough to be effective. I thought BYU in the second half got better. Now, is Texas Tech going to have? I thought they actually, looking at their penalties, I think they had 6 for 50 yards. Texas Tech actually wasn't bad. The biggest issue is the run, and that is that BYU averaged 2.5 yards a carry. And I think BYU's defense was actually pretty solid against the run. The issue was not really, and this is just my opinion, the defense was fine. BYU's offense never got going. And I think that'll be different. I think to D-Rock's point, I think it's very difficult unless you come something completely different. I think that it's very difficult to beat the same team twice the same way. I think this is a 10-point game. I think 10 points is pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I guess it just comes down to the concept of how much is BYU's defense going to be on the field, right? And that has nothing to do with their defense in the sense that if BYU can't possess the football for more than 3 game minutes at a time, 3 to 5 game minutes at a time, it's not going to put you in a place to compete with Texas Tech. So my point is, hey, you have to be able to run the football in this game. Like there are only so many ways to beat this team with what you have right now. One of the best ways, in my opinion, is to get out and run on them on the edge. Like, I would not just be turn around, hand it off. I would be pitch. I would be toss. I would be RPO. Like, that's what I would be doing. You need motion. You need unpredictability. You need chaos. And you need to make Tex defenders make decisions.
Whoa. Did you just curse BYU, or did you just curse Texas Tech, James?
Bro, many teams, dude? How many teams you going to do this to, bro?
Tech is a real contender for the CFP title game. Actually, they're not when you don't have a dynamic quarterback. But put this on the headstone. Yeah, put this on the headstone. Dude. Travis. No, they're not, Trav.
Bro. Yeah, dynamically ass.
Yeah, I miss Boss Frog. I don't know what happened to him. Jake said something that pissed him off, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Tech loves the Jones AT&T Stadium and the AT&T Jones Stadium. They both are West Texas, boy.
We show up.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's fine. It's fine. Listen, I think playing this game in Arlington, BYU fans are going to come out in mass.
Yes.
Not go to mass like church, but in mass, as in large numbers.
God bless.
They'll probably pray in the parking lot, but
Right.
Tex-Mex says, go steal Matt Patricia from Ohio State. He's not a head coach.
Nah. Nope.
Not a head coach, in my opinion. Crypto. I hope BYU can pull it off. So do I. Would love to play Notre Dame in Provo. I'll buy those tickets, whatever the cost. You and me both, my guy.
Buddy,
Dude, can you imagine that? Can you imagine that?
That would be insane.
Go back to the old crib. That would be awesome. Are we not going to talk about Texas Tech extending their high school football coach because they thought someone wanted to poach him? Joey earned it, though. He earned it. Yeah, it is. Boyd Lake, the SEO King of America, game is sold out. So yeah, Aggie, this was a big thing in the comment section that it's almost $1,000 round trip Salt Lake to Arlington, and even the flights from Provo are unattainable. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be incredible. Dare I say it? BYU plus 10.5 is a lock. I wouldn't hate that bet.
I would be
wouldn't
curious
hate that
to
bet.
see what the prop is on Texas Tech if there is a prop of single digits for Tech to cover. If you can get it anywhere at like 8 or 9.
You can always buy that down.
Yeah, like if you can get 8 or
down.
9, I would be doing that all day long. But again, I'm not a professional. I would never gamble. They're just positions.
Jake. Look, I'm not telling you guys to go and plant a butt buzzer. Let's see. No, you can't get it at that. No, you cannot get it. Woo. Boy, some of the numbers you can get it higher than 12.5. Jeez Louise.
What's the highest?
14. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, there's not a lot of people who believe that BYU is going to compete.
I personally believe that BYU,
such as in like,
is going to turn the football over.
If this game was going to be played in the Iraq, you can get this game at 12 to 14 is the swing that I see. So,
yeah,
I think if you could buy it down to 10.5, you would happily do that. Because I think it is the most bettable game. Like, who's betting 5.5 on Ohio State? I hate that line. I hate the Bama line. I would bet Bama all day long in this game. I'd bet Bama all day long. This one right here, yeah, I don't know about that. I would be on BYU all day long.
What do you think that outside of the obvious, like
lose
outside
cover
of
under,
not turning it over, not making all the mistakes, all outside of the obvious stuff? Do you think that they're going to be able to keep this closer? Maybe not close, but closer because Bear will play better, or they're going to run the football better, or like what? Because the defense is not in question. I think everyone agrees the defense can keep up and do what they need to do.
Defense played well. Defense played well.
It is entirely an offensive issue. And that's what I'm trying to figure out. If you don't, because obviously it starts with the line. So if they're still getting the same push, I just have a lot of concerns that you won't be able to run the football if you can't hold up.
Yeah, just looking at some like I think, again, I'm a big believer, just looking at the notes that I have. I think Bear is a significantly, and I know this is crazy. What was that game 3 weekends ago? But I think Bear Bachmeier is a significantly different quarterback than he has been at any time this season. And we talked about it on the show that game was going to be make or break. And you're looking at less than a month later, And he's already a significantly better quarterback, Bear is, than he's been at any time this season. But that doesn't mean he's good enough to throw BYU to a win, because that's what he's going to have to do. You are not, if you are BYU, you are not going to be able to run the ball for chunk plays, which is what has powered this offense. LJ being able to carry BYU because he breaks off a 12 here, he breaks off a 25 there. Like, he has those explosive plays, runs a guy over. You're not getting that against Texas Tech. They're well rested and they are ready to play. And I think the hard part is, you look at Tech and you look at stylistically, Texas Tech's defense hasn't changed a lick. That defense is coming for your neck and they love it. And I think when you look at what they did to West Virginia,
Mountain Mama.
They took pride in peeling back the skin off of West Virginia. I mean, I don't even know how do you run for only 37 yards in a football game. I have no idea how. I didn't know that was possible to have that few rushing yards. West Virginia ran for 37 yards. 37 yards. And you want to know the crazy thing? They averaged 1.7 yards a carry.
You're keeping a
BYU averaged. Yeah, BYU averaged 2.5. Right? Now, the difference is, I think that BYU has significantly better skill position players. I don't believe, and I could be wrong, Parker Kingston ain't fumbling a kick return in this game. That's not happening.
I sure hope not, dude.
Right?
Good Lord.
It's hard for me to say it. The moment looked too big for BYU that day. It's not going to be too big on Saturday. Just not. But let's also be very clear that Bear Bachmeier is going to have to be the reason that BYU wins this game.
Mm-hmm.
My guy Glasgow, that dude's knocking your teeth out. Right? Jack Kelly's knocking your teeth out. Tanner Wall's the most underrated secondary player in the country. Right? I mean, we can sit here and I can tell you all the stars on defense for BYU. They don't mean Jack Swilly unless Bear Bachmeier is the star of this game. Unless Bear Bachmeier throws for 250 yards and multiple touchdowns, probably 3, BYU doesn't win this game.
Yeah.
They will have to be perfect on special teams. That BS, whatever that nonsense was we saw down there in West Texas, boy. I don't know why I'm talking like that. It's just fun. Anyway, my point is,
I'll see you in Valhalla.
Yeah, bro, you better have left those fumbles in Valhalla, because we're going to Arlington to play for a conference championship. I don't want kickoffs or punts hitting guys in the chest and fumble.
Smiles and glory holes.
We're not playing that kind of football Saturday, or you're going to get blown out. And again, I know that in this game, everybody's going to want to talk about Jacob Rodriguez. He's earned that. BYU's linebackers are better than Texas Tech's linebackers. I've seen the tape. I've watched it. I've studied it. Glasgow and Kelly are as dynamic as any in the country. And you put in guys like Satuala, you put in guys like Dumani, Wall. I mean, you just look that they don't jump off the tape. They leap off the tape. Like that secondary and linebacking core, and very under the Tanavasas of the world, those guys are very understated. BYU's defenses, they're here for it. I'd remind you, Baron Morton was 17 of 32 for 219 and a touchdown. He was not a factor. He was minus 47 in running yards, man. BYU sacked him 4 times, six TFLs. But you know what else there was? 5 pass defenses for BYU's defense. You got to get, I know it's impossible to say it out loud, and you probably think of me in a jackwagon. You got to get to the quarterback more. The guy's dinged up. He's not mobile. He's going to be standing there like a statue. right? I mean, you need to Jackson Dart that ass.
Wow.
Too much.
Wow,
Probably too
dude.
much.
And we're going to get to the Giants today. You need to Jackson Dart that ass.
Percentages that BYU can win this game.
10% top.
Okay, what do you have as a score in this game?
31-17. That's
No.
best case.
So you think they're giving up 30 points?
Yep, I do.
No.
I think that to your point, Baron Morton didn't have a great showing against BYU last time. I think that Texas Tech's defense did not even come close to getting super deep in the playbook on defense, schematically, blitzes, stunts, twists, whatever. You know, it was pretty simple and straightforward. And I think
that's your exhaust is pungent right now.
Yeah, dude, call me a throat stretcher, bro. Yeah, I think that Texas Tech knows what this is. They're not the only ones following the crumble cookie, saga, right? They know what went down with Kalani.
All right. It's only hard to beat a team twice if the teams are close, and this isn't the case for BYU and Texas Tech.
Agreed.
Wish you were me? No, but you're not wrong. Okay, so let me ask you this. There's a conspiracy theory out there.
Conspiracy tinfoil hatters.
That Texas Tech's going to lay down. That this will be a close game, and Texas Tech will lay down to get two Big 12 teams in the college football playoff.
Why would they do that?
Well, because they want more money. But do you think there's any way that happens?
I don't think there's any way that Texas Tech as a team or whatever is going to be like, we're going to do everything we can do to lose this game. We're going to keep it close, but no, dude, I that's just not. If that were to ever be the case, I don't know. If that ever came out, I'd probably retire from doing the show, because now the NBA is a gambling cesspool, and now Texas Tech is laying down to get two teams into the Big 12, which is just terrible behavior. Like, again, we're all sitting here today complaining that people aren't, having to earn it on the field, and it's about human beings. Well, isn't that exactly what this is for BYU? Isn't this exactly what it is? Like, hey, dude, like, go win a ball game and you're in. Don't leave it up to the humans. Like, it's not Tech's fault, and it's nobody else's fault that the Retzloff thing happened, and Baron Morton's the guy you have, or Bear Bachmeier's the guy you have behind him. So, no, I don't think Tech is laying down. In fact, I think that Tech wants to double down and beat them worse, honestly.
I think this is going to be a one-score game in the fourth quarter. As hard as I have been on Bear, I see this as a 27-point max output for Texas Tech. Wow, Jesus. If that happens, I mean, can you imagine? Ooh. I don't think, man, if that happens, Kalani's going to get fired. No, I'm kidding. It was okay. I don't see them dropping a 38-piece nugget on BYU. See, I said nuggies.
Nuggies.
BYU loses 27-20. Farron hits 2 field goals, and the Cougs have 2 rushing touchdowns, but can't keep up in the second half.
Spinal.
Kirk Myers with a new avatar. Again, I say BYU had the best win of the week, keeping their coach. So will that be the only win this week?
Yeah, are you saying that that's the win because you're going to lose to Tech?
I think it's way under the 50.5. I do. 31-24 Tech. The positive effect of Coach Satake staying is going to help them in the first half. Nah.
So the Big 12 is getting 2 teams in, is what you're saying, now that you're picking Tech. Thanks, James.
Hell yeah, Lions sign. What? Oh, he did sign. Okay, good. BYU had a great class. Do you guys care about high school recruiting? Is this something that that you guys are, because I'm telling you now, I think at the end of the day, and if I look at BYU's class, obviously BYU's not the university that gets 5-star recruits. But I think BYU's class is significantly better than. See, like I'd take BYU's class over Clemson. I think Texas Tech probably had the best class in the conference. There's a kid named Felix Ojo, who's an offensive lineman that is absolutely going to come for you nuts. Like that kid. I mean, what they did up front in this class for Texas Tech is Bryce Gilmore and Felix Ojo are, dude, those bros, they're both 6'5". And actually, I think Ojo's 6'6". And they're both next week going to weigh in at 300 pounds. They're going to be your starting tackles for the next 3 years. And that doesn't even talk about LaDamian Guyton, the edge that they got. I think that's the best class in the Big 12. Talent, like guy for guy. I think Texas Tech ain't no more a portal team, boy. I think Texas Tech had a great class. Great class. And I think it's really close. BYU and Texas Tech, they're right next to each other. But just on star power alone, you got to go Tech. But probably the best player, or the kid I'm most excited about that BYU got, is Brock Harris. He's a tight end, a 6'6", 240-pound tight end. Like, that's crazy. Adam Bywater, the linebacker, legacy kid, stud, 4 stars. Like, I think he went to Olympus or Timpview? Olympus. I think he's really good. Like Jax Tanner, the offensive lineman. But see, here's the difference. He's a 3-star, 6'4", 275. Really good player. But he's not 6'6", 300 pounds. And I mean, it's a significantly different player. Well, yeah, I agree with that. I'm not saying that, and most people think that Ryder Lyons is. But how long until Ryder Lyons gets on the field at BYU? I think that's the real question. Anyway, here, no, there. I'm on when it comes to this recruiting class shit, Jake hates it. He can't stand it. I think it's really important because.
Well, it's important, but I think this is my issue with signing day being right now. Why are we talking about kids who aren't playing on the field this week? Like how, with all due respect to them, I'm just not, bro. We got, 3 weeks, 4 weeks left in the season or whatever it is, and I'm not interested in talking about. And I agree. Ryder Lyons, super hyped, glad they got him. Awesome.
Four-star quarterback out of Northern California. I think he's from Folsom. That kid's a stud, but where's he going to play? I mean, are you going to have an open competition with Bear Bachmeier? Probably not. Right? Like, but if you look at it,
happen this offseason.
You look at some of the guys, like BYU's got dudes. And again, I'm going to tell you that USC, and I don't care what any of you MFers have to say, USC has an unbelievable class. I mean, Kenyi Pepe, who is 6'7" and 320 pounds.
Do you ever get, and I'm not ball busting, I'm asking a legitimate question. Does it ever get tiresome talking about Lincoln's success in recruiting, but that it just he hasn't quite got today? This season's been way better, like massive improvement. I think everyone agrees with that. It's clearly headed in the right direction. But it does, to me, feel like, oh, who's the next Heisman for Lincoln? But when does it actually get put together? That's what's hard. That's partially why I don't like the whole signing day. Oh, he's got a great class. Okay,
why do you have to bring up Lincoln Riley?
You're talking about USC. Yeah, that's my reaction too. Next topic. I mean,
I think that it matters. I do. It does wear me out, but this is the best defensive class that Lincoln Riley's ever had as a head coach. I mean,
like think about and I know that there's a million different examples, but think about like this Dylan Raiola situation.
Jesus.
Bro was like an 800-star recruit and has been the definition of average to below average. Like,
yeah, he's not great. He's not great, but I don't know. I think it matters, and it's the only reason that I really love Marcus Freeman. The one thing that cat does is he gets NFL alumni to make babies who play football at Notre Dame. And he's got Aiden Pouncey, the safety, who's one of the Pouncey boys. Huge name, right? Like you look at some of the names, Devin Fitzgerald, Larry Fitzgerald's kid from Brophy. Where's he going? Oh, that's right. He's going to Notre Dame, right? You look at, he's got dudes all day long. And I think that it matters because I look at the argument I made for Lane Kiffin at LSU. He's got access to the best high school talent. Larry Fitzgerald's kid is not going to Ole Miss. He's going to Notre Dame. It's just... USC, Dale Donuts, USC had a higher classes, I think this class you're looking at with USC is not only deep, you can project the talent because you have to with these high school kids. It's Deion Sanders, and I am a big believer in this Deion belief system where Deion says, I don't want 100 kids that are 5-star coming into the program because they're not going to play and then they're going to transfer. And we spent a bunch of money. We spent a bunch of money, time, resources on building a football player for another program. I want 20 really good high school football players.
Do you believe?
And I think you need every year 20 kids that you can project into your starting lineup the next year because they don't want to sit around and wait. They don't want to sit around and wait. What do you mean the ghost is back? What happened?
no idea what that's a reference to.
I don't know either. I just took my Ozempic. I can explain. Okay. I take my shot on Tuesday nights. Zepbound. I'm a Zepbound guy. So down 50 pounds, guys. Zepbound. It's not rocket science. Eat less, drink more water, Notre Dame nailed 27 out of 27 signees today. No one flipped. I think it is the second best class in the country. And again, I know Jake hates this. It shrivels up into his abdomen every time I talk about recruiting. And especially when I think Notre Dame's got a better class than Oregon. Although it would have been very, very nice if Tardarian Ball would have gone to Notre Dame. The running back that Dan Lanning got, who I think is going to be incredible, who he flipped from Baylor, because I thought the kid was going to Baylor. I wished he would have gone to Notre Dame, but I think that what Notre Dame has in this class, but honest to God, today, and I know, again, Jake, please try not to vomit. Today's the day that somebody won a national championship next year. Today's the day. Caleb Downs. Today's the day that somebody won a national championship next year.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. It's just interesting you say that because, I guess I don't share that viewpoint. I look at it as, hey, you've got a talent pool that will enable you to obviously develop kids, and that to me is where championships are won. I mean, we know that it's physically possible to take a kid who is a 1 or 2 star, let's say, just as an example, and develop that kid into one of the best players in college football. We know that's possible. At the same time, it helps to be getting great talent. Of course, it helps. But I just think it's not guaranteed just because you have the best talent that you will win. Guys need to develop. Guys need to buy into your system. And I think anymore that there's so many distractions on college football teams that it really is like, that's why I would be excited about Marcus Freeman on an ongoing basis. The culture is really good. Guys are doing what they should be doing. They're developing. They're bought in. You know, I think the CJ Carr development on its own is a perfect example of that. You know, and I think that it's why the Nick Sabans of the world are created, because the guy builds such a reputation for, hey, I can take anybody and put you in the NFL, that he didn't even need to recruit as hard as he did to get talent. The kid wants to go.
But why did he? But why did he? Why did he? And you look at who's a guy at Notre Dame I can talk about. If you look at Caden Finley, who is Jermichael Finley's son, the former tight end. Caden Finley is a guy that's ready to be almost an upperclassman in college right now. He's from Aledo, Texas. He was committed to Texas until he wasn't, and then he went to Notre Dame. The difference is, I'm not talking about two-star guys that ran special teams in high school. I'm talking about CJ Carr and Bear Bachmeier. CJ Carr and Bear Bachmeier were shadows of themselves week one. They're stars now. CJ Carr might be the second best true freshman quarterback in the country. And why is that? Because Notre Dame develops guys. You look at the top schools in the country, they all develop guys. Your guy, Lincoln Riley, hasn't been so good at developing guys at USC. So now what he's done is he's gone out and gotten a whole bunch of really good high school talent that he is now going to develop. That's why it matters. It doesn't matter if you're not going to develop guys. Like, it just doesn't matter. Monty, quit saying, why did he? Why did he? Why'd you do that, did he? I heard that quarterback Underwood wants to renegotiate his NIL, and Portnoy ain't having it. He's going to transfer. He's going to transfer. Chad Perling is a new wardrobe on the Xmas list, dude. I don't even want to talk about it. I am so frustrated. I had on it. This is my favorite quarter zip. This particular quarter zip, I have it in 4 colors. None of them fit me. And I'm telling you guys, I don't even mind standing up and show. Look at how big this, like, I can't even, it's a dress, dude. Like, it is, it's so big. All of my shit is so big, I can't really even wear most of the clothes I have. I'm not even joking. I'm not. Black Friday, I probably spent $600 on clothes Black Friday, because I legitimately do not have clothes that fit me.
Bro, the Black Friday consumer spending numbers are not good, bro.
I don't want to talk about it.
Not good.
I don't want to talk about it. We'll talk about it at the end of the show. Wish you were me. Championships are, why are we blinking again? Championships are not next year on today's class. Championships are won on today's class plus the previous 3 classes. Well, of course they are. But my point is, when you look at, again, I'll talk about Notre Dame, opposed to USC. USC's a portal school. Until now, when now they're a recruiting class school. And why have they lost? Because they haven't been developing guys. Notre Dame is they're one of the few schools that routinely live and die on high school players. And you look at the way that they develop guys. If you're not developing guys, if you don't have yearly freshmen in your top 75% of, because you should cut the bottom 25% of your roster every single winter. Season comes to an end, lop off the bottom 25% of your roster. Notre Dame does that every year. And why is that? Because they have the best freshmen in the country pretty much every year. So, no Notre Dame stitching. I don't wear Under Armour. I love the Notre Dame gold sweatshirts. It's Under Armour, and Under Armour's not comfortable.
We
in my
keeping the
opinion.
book right now. We ass.
You want to give me one? Hell yeah, I'll wear it. Geoff, worth it. You'll live longer and make love better. Happy for you. Pounding like a porn star.
Dude, how's your back, dude? How's the back?
Yeah, Geoff. Well, Geoff apparently is in unbelievable shape. He was telling us.
broken.
No, it's not. Famlore. Monty, what's going to be your final look? A Russian gangster leather coat? I have no idea.
And with all due respect,
I just want tight jeans that'll outline the pipe. That's all I care about.
Yes.
Probably too much.
Look, Bryson, take it easy.
You know, buy untreated cotton. It's another month. Wash and dry in hot water. Shrinkage should be good for another month. Yeah. You know what I want that I can't get? I want 501s. And I'm a size 42 waist right now. Can't get them. Can't get them in a 42. You got to be like a 36. Notre Dame sucks. Okay.
Wow, man, John, dude, what a great contribution, bro. Thank you.
Brown eyes. What's up, Shouty? Why isn't Colorado ain't getting high school? They are. Deion doesn't buy it. Deion is somebody that, but Deion Sanders gets really good high school kids, just not in a big number. Right? So you look at guys like Julian Lewis, or, point to George Seaton, or any of the guys you want. I think it's difficult if you're Deion Sanders. I think he's top 100 right now. I think he only has 11 commits, but his commits are like 4 stars and 3 stars. So, and I should look it up before I say, but I think all of his best recruits this year are on defense. He's got a kid named Carson Crawford, who went to Carthage. Deion's got Carson Crawford, the linebacker out of Carthage, and he's got Preston Ashley from Mississippi, the safety. Those are his 2 best players by far. He's also got Xavier Payne, better offensive lineman. His class is really good. It's 11 players. His class is really good. They need to win, is what they need to do. They need to win. He also has 3 IMG Academy guys, which, is significant. I will give him credit because he doesn't usually miss on his high school guy. He does not usually miss on his high school guys. Right? Like if you look at, again, if I look from last year, if I look at Notre Dame's 2025 class, and we should probably stop talking about recruiting after this, because Jake will trumpet and go to sleep. You look at
situation, and we all know that.
I agree. You look at some of the guys in Marcus's 2025 class. They're playing. They're playing. Dallas Golden, like they're playing. And it's awfully difficult to like Elijah Burgess is playing for Notre Dame. You have to play these guys. You can't just have them play and not contribute. You can't do that anymore. That's what Deion's belief is, that you need fewer high school kids that are really good.
Yeah.
Bailey Dietrich, USF got Brian Hartline and Bob Chesney is going to UCLA. Are you sure? I hadn't heard that.
Wow, dude. I thought
they were both going to Penn State.
Dude, thank you for breaking that news, man. Wow.
Nice
job, bro.
Bailey, always good to see you. Good day to be an Ohio State fan. They had an incredible recruiting class.
Yeah.
Jake's like, nobody cares, fat ass. Move on. They're really good. And their defense, did you guys see all the dudes Ohio State racked on defense? It's almost laughable, because what are you going to tell Bryce Underwood? Well, Bryce, your coaches, they're shitbag and not good.
I get that.
We had a terrible day recruiting. Don't get in the portal.
Sucks.
Oh, and by the way, Ohio State brought in a bunch of thoroughbreds on defense, and they're coming for your neck.
Is it possible that they could ride the D?
Like, are you kidding me? They have a kid, Kahari Wilder from Gardena, LA. Could have gone anywhere. I think it was a 78th player. And it was Bama, Arizona, UCLA, Ohio State. He had a bunch of offers. And he took very early on, he took Ohio State and never really wavered. And they're going to be so unbelievably good for like the next 5 years minimum. I don't even know. Like Blaine Bradford here's the one I think this is the kid that got Brian Kelly fired. Because he's from Baton Rouge and he went to Baton Rouge Catholic and did not go. A 94 rated guy got out of Louisiana and went to Ohio State and had Brian Kelly 7th on his list. I think he is the kid. Blaine Bradford from Baton Rouge is the kid that got Brian Kelly whacked. Because Brian Kelly didn't want to recruit, didn't want to talk to kids, didn't want to. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's going to be ugly. I'm a Mississippi State alum, born and raised in Michigan. Oh, Michigan State. Oh. Welcome to the penis car wash. Plank effed himself by doubling down on his fitness tracker and trash app while Apple and Samsung simultaneously released better wearable options. Arrogant fool. Well, you know what? I used to be die hard. When Jake was in high school and pitching, I used to wear all Under Armour because Jake was a huge fan of Under Armour spikes. And I love their
sleeves, all of it.
It just went straight downhill. I don't know where their stuff went. It did not go up. It went way downhill.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Michigan State is playing Notre Dame again for the next 2 seasons. Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Make Michigan State great again. Let's not. You know. Golf too enticing for BK. Dude, how many of these coaches are like, yeah, I'm going to golf a lot? What are you talking about? What do you mean? Nico to Kentucky. Who do you mean? Imo Liava? I think, why would he leave UCLA now that Chesney's there?
Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Bailey says, I do care, Monty. I know, but I get so much crap for, I love talking recruiting. I think it is a real indication of who you are as a football coach. Because do you know how hard it is to be in your 50s or 60s and you're trying to relate to 17-year-old kids? In a lot of cases, 15-year-old kids. You're trying to relate to 15, 16, 17-year-old kids. And your job depends on them doing what they said they were going to do. I can't get my kid to make his fucking bed every day, and I'm supposed to put my livelihood on the line for him to sign a piece of paper. You know how difficult that is?
I'm going to do
that. Dude, that's tough, man. That is... Ooh. Maybe Under Armour is made in China by 5-year-olds nowadays. Wow. Couldn't tell you. Signing day for me is a holiday at my home. Phone, TV, computer, all recruiting info going on. Lifeblood of your program. I think it is. I'm a big believer in following it. Huge believer. That awkward guy, is UCLA keeping the Wonder Kid play caller as the OC, or at least is the program still Jerry Neuheisel? I don't know. He's going to get a job. I think there's a lot of people who say that he's somebody that should end up as a Will Stein replacement. Because you got to remember, I think this is a critical moment in time for Dan Lanning.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if when you're throating him tonight, if you could ask him, you know, is he going to hire some dudes? You know. Are you still in on Dan Lanning?
Yeah. I still think he's one of the best coaches in college football. No doubt.
Yeah, totally agree, Marcus. Marcus says Jake's puffer is rocking today. Marcus wants to know if you put that in the washing machine.
I did not. This is how it.
It's just your natural glow.
It's my natural glow, dude. I do what I can. I don't know what else to say about it.
Tex-Mex says, where will Michigan go from here? Dude, I think Sharon's out.
Down.
I have so little faith. I have so little faith in Sharon Moore. I just don't. I don't even know what to say about it. I'm so disappointed in the. How do you waste Bryce Underwood? How do you waste him? First he was a runner, and then he was a thrower, and he doesn't do either one particularly well. Like how do you waste Bryce Underwood? It's crazy to me. But hey, is what it is. Sharon out, Tomlin in. Why is everybody so sure that Mike Tomlin wants to coach college football?
They're garbage, dude. They're trash, and he needs a new gig.
I agreed. I'm not. Listen, we can sit here and argue this Mike Tomlin thing. I'm happy to get into that. Do you think? So would you fire him? Like, what are you saying you would do?
At a minimum, I'm asking him what the direction of this team is after this year, because I just think that the Aaron Rodgers experiment hasn't worked out. I just think the guy is just not good enough anymore. And the defense hasn't been good. You're getting pushed around. You're getting dominated by other offenses. Like, it's just
so you're blaming Pittsburgh on Aaron Rodgers?
Partially, not entirely, but partially. Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Wow. Again, I'm open to the idea that I'm just smarter than you. But that was okay. I don't think Aaron Rodgers has been elite. He is far from their problem. He
right,
is.
That wasn't the question, right? The question was, does he bear some blame for their struggles? Not all of them, but some of them. Yeah, I think.
I just
partially.
don't know. I don't know how bro. He's well over 2,000 yards. He isn't. Obviously the interception number at 7 against 19 is not ideal, but he's got 19 touchdowns at 7 picks, 2,000 yards with very little protection and no running game. I'm not blaming Aaron Rodgers. I'm blaming the defense, which is so incredibly overpriced. I mean, you look at where their defense ranks. Their defense is not good. I mean, if we're truth telling and you look at Pittsburgh, do you understand that they're the 5th worst defense in the NFL? And the Dallas Cowboys are not far behind them. They're 8 yards behind the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's how bad the Pittsburgh Steelers defense is. And if Aaron Rodgers was, 10 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and 1,500 yards, they'd be like, yeah, shit, the guy's done. But he just doesn't, to me, he doesn't get protection. They don't run the ball, and that defense is horrendous.
Then at a minimum, he's not a fit for the Steelers, at a minimum. And that experiment has not worked, given what they're not able to provide him. If that's, it's just not working.
They're giving up 24 points a game. What has that got to do with Aaron Rodgers?
Because he's not able. Yeah, we just disagree on Aaron Rodgers. You've always said it was a good idea. I've always said it's a terrible idea, and it just is what it is, man. Like, why are you investing in a guy who has repeatedly shown that he's not a winner and he's not a solutions guy? He's not a guy that's going to help you overcome problems in other areas of your football team. It's not that guy. Never has been.
I'm not even saying that Aaron Rodgers has been amazing. He's not what's wrong with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's not what's wrong with the Pittsburgh Steelers. You look at, there's a lot of problems with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They can't run the ball. They're 5th worst running the football in the NFL. They're the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you can't run the ball? You're averaging 94 yards a game. You can't run the ball. You're averaging 281 yards a game total offense, and you're only getting 3.8 yards a game running the ball, which is just slightly better than the 90.7 yards of the New Orleans Saints. Their problems are, I agree that Aaron Rodgers is not the same guy. He's not their problem. They spend so much money on defense and they can't tackle. They can't cover. And I think it's Mike Tomlin's fault. I think it is when you look at the numbers. I mean, okay, you don't expect the Pittsburgh Steelers on offense to be, who are the best offenses in the NFL? The Bills, the Bears. You don't expect them to run for 150 yards a game. You can't break 100. You can't break 100. And if we look at the best total offense in the NFL, it's the Dallas Cowboys, I think, are number one. But I don't expect them to be the Bills, the Lions, the Rams. I expect them to be better than the fucking Saints.
But I guess my thing is, wasn't that what we were all talking about in the beginning of the year? Hey, you got this guy, you got that guy. You know, like you have all this talent on offense. Man, it's going to be incredible.
No. The argument was Aaron Rodgers is the cherry on top of the sundae. And the ice cream and the bananas, the nuts and the whipped cream was the defense. And that they look old, dude. They look old. Like, I don't even know how to describe how old the Pittsburgh Steelers defense looks. I mean, it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. I don't know, man. Maybe and I'm open to the idea that I just am lost. I'm up in the night. I have no idea I don't know ball.
I don't think you're
We've
up in the
established
night.
that.
What I think is that you know, you are more focused on the other issues on the team, and I'm focused on, hey, like Aaron Rodgers had a dramatic summer signing, and there was all this talk, and he was going to go to the Steelers and win the AFC, and I'm not going to forget that stuff, dude.
He was supposed to be the thing that put them over. He was supposed to be the thing that, okay, he's not asshat backup Rudolph, but if you're paying, they have the most don't they have the most expensive defense in the NFL? They have the most expensive defense in the NFL, and you can't tackle. I'm pretty certain that they have the Pittsburgh Steelers currently have the most expensive, bro, and it's not close. They have the $150 million, 149.5. The next closest is the Packers at 137. They're spending $150 million on their defense, and they're the fifth worst defense in the NFL. That's unreal to me. And amongst things we never thought we would say, the Dallas Cowboys did more and now are a much better defense than the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because I know, and I would love some flowers on this that I'll probably never get. When everybody was panicked over the Micah trade, and we were like, well, let's see what they turn that into. What did they turn that into?
Smiles and glory holes.
They turned that into some pretty damn good talent on defense. And Quinnen Williams has actually been pretty good on defense. He has made it. They can actually stop the run now, which is pretty impressive. That's how you beat the Chiefs, right? And I don't know how to say it. I would probably have the Cowboys as more of a contender than the Steelers, and the Cowboys have like a 7% chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right. But you look at the guys that Dallas brought in, Jadeveon Clowney. You look at Overshawn being back, I think is a huge deal for them. But you look at Quinnen Williams, that defense now is actually capable up front. And again, I never thought that I would say that. I never thought that I would say that. Bringing Kenny Clark in, never thought that him, Overshown being back, and Quinnen Williams, which is pretty much what you turned Micah into this year, you're a better defense for having traded Micah Parsons. Accidentally or otherwise, but you're a better defense for having traded the guy. And you're not a better defense in Pittsburgh.
Not even close.
Calamoni gifts 20 Monty Show memberships. Good job. Didn't have any trouble zipping the vest. Just couldn't play the draft jingle, could you?
Nope.
Do you know what that's like these days?
I'm so jealous that you have that vest. So I'm in vest. As far as seasons of my life goes, there was the young baby phase, sucking on a titty like Caleb Williams. Then we matriculated to, hey, what's this thing for? Right? Then we matriculated to, okay, now I'm 50 years old and I want a variety of vests that cover all the different temperature possibilities of the day. I need that vest because I have a Columbia down vest that's unreal. I have a couple of Callaway golf vests that are good lightweight vests. I have a Patagonia down vest that's not for the coldest weather, but cold weather. I need something that won't chafe the diamond cutters, but will keep me warm in cold-ish conditions.
Yeah, boy.
I don't even know what to say to that. I agree, obviously.
That felt over the top. It did. Yes. Calamoni for the win. Yes. Tex. Oh, whoa. Hey, Monty, how about a nice Michigan-style quilted flannel shirt? No, I'm okay. I like women. Thanks.
Got anything to say? Quite frankly, fuck you.
Easy there, kid. UNC Monty. I'm not saying it. Some advice. Get you a real big puffy coat to wear around. Then when you take it off, it will look like you lost 100 pounds in a second.
Oh, did you just call bro fat?
I think he did.
Yeah, did you just call dude fat?
Monty want to invest in a vest. Well,
I'm a man.
The problem is I want a North Face vest. I have Patagonia. I have Columbia. I want the middle tier North Face vest.
I'm going to do that.
That pick you have isn't Bill Belichick. It's Monty.
Okay, so again, you're calling him fat. Thanks, dude.
Fat can recognize fat. I'm close to not being fat anymore. I'm close. I'm probably 3 months away from not being fat anymore, which is actually really saying something, rectally speaking. So,
yeah, it's nice. It's good work.
What's going on with your Zepbound thing?
I mean, not a ton. I'm
he
8
paused.
pounds down. No, I didn't hit pause. No, I didn't. 8 pounds down.
Are you still on the junk?
Yeah, I am. I'm on the last round, and then I'm gonna go up to the next level of potency.
So you didn't take it though for 2 weeks. You told me.
No, I didn't take it for a week while we were in California. I just didn't take it for that week. That's all.
Why did you not take it for that week?
Because I was gonna be out of town. So either way, I was just like, all right,
I'm gonna eat poorly.
I don't feel like I ate that poorly.
No, but I'm just asking, why didn't you take it?
Well, because I mean, either way, if you look at the timing of it, so because I had left on a Friday,
mm-hmm.
and so I was gonna be either way, I was gonna miss. I was either gonna have to take a shot early or just miss a shot, or so I was like, all right, fine, I'll just take 1 week off, and that'll be it.
Why didn't you just bring it to LA with you?
Because I didn't really have a way to do it without freezing it, and I was a little concerned about the temperature issue. Because they say you're supposed to keep it refrigerated.
Yeah, there's a little box you buy for. I think we paid $6 for ours, which is fine.
I didn't know there was a box you could buy for it.
The excuses are getting a bit much. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Monty's not fat. He's full of sports news sources. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Jakey Two Shakes cheating the Ozempic plan. Come on, man. Exactly.
I know, dude.
It's
Sucking a
weak
ding
stuff.
dong.
It's weak stuff.
Yeah, I know.
See, Jake is wearing the puffy vest for 2 reasons. Staying hot helps burn those calories, and when he takes it off, he automatically looks thinner. Yes, I called you fat too.
See, there we go. See, I told you.
Toot pants. Monty isn't fat. He's Ruben-esque. Okay.
Okay.
All Chicago kids like Montclair. See, the price of stuff now is ridiculous. Okay, like this Canadian goose thing, it pisses me off. Walking around Seattle today, dude, I had a rough day with my dog.
What's going on with bro? Like, what are we doing, man?
I made a huge mistake yesterday.
Makes me want to puke.
So my dog, Jake has a large dog that pretty much slobbers all over everything. And every time my dog and Jake's dog are around each other, my dog gets sick. And my dog last week in LA had the mud butt and threw up one time. All right, we fasted him for 24 hours, fed him rice and chicken. He recovered. Well, I'm sitting here this morning and the dog throws up on my shoe.
Oh my God.
And I said to myself, dude, December can S my D because this is brutal. December has been horrendous for me. It's been 3 days of hell. Okay, so I take my shoe off.
Was it a
clean
Jordan or what shoe was it?
No, it was a Hoka.
Okay, nice.
Cleaned it, fine. You can't even tell.
Yeah.
I come back, he threw up on the leg of my office chair, which is on a glass
Bro.
pad. All right, no problem. You're not feeling good. I'm sorry, buddy. Clean it up, no problem. Throws up on his bed and his blanket.
Bruh.
Okay. I call the vet because I'm worried about him. It's a lot of vomit. The vet's like, I'm like, do you have an appointment? Can I bring him in? The guy says to me, I wouldn't bring him in. He's like, I'll be honest with you, man. We could have you bring him in. It's going to be $85 at a minimum. And it's probably going to be $150 by the time you're out the door after we do some x-rays and an ultrasound on his stomach.
Which you were totally fine with, right?
Yeah.
You were totally fine.
I would have paid it. But he said it sounds like he's got what a lot of dogs are dealing with right now, which is a little bit of a flu bug. I would fast him for 24 hours, feed him white rice and chicken. Okay, cool. I take him for a walk. And the vet had said, okay, what's he doing? I'm like, he's fine. He's fine. He's running around. His ears are up, his tail's up. Like, he's fine. And so the vet's like, okay, well, if that changes, let me know. I said, okay. And I said, can I still take him for walks and stuff? He's like, yeah, do what you want to do. He's like, in fact, I would encourage you to take him for walks, see how the fresh air helps him. Okay, great. I take him for a walk. I get him down to the street and he drops a truckload of shit right in the middle of the sidewalk.
It's very powerful.
And this cat is 16 pounds.
Bro.
This cat is 16, but he is not a big dog. And I am telling you, I have these poo bag things. You know what a poop bag looks like.
Yeah.
Dude, it filled up half that bag. And it wasn't liquid or diarrhea. It was just a pound of chocolate soft serve. Well, really lemon because it was a little yellowy. But I'm like, God damn. And then he went and chased after a pigeon and got into a fight with a dog like he's his normal self. Come back upstairs. I'm like, okay, cool. Everything's fine. I'm working again, and I hear this, whoo. Turn around. I don't see him. I'm like, Django.
Monty.
I hear another whoo. And I'm like, oh, God. That's certainly a whimper.
The coronavirus.
I go out to my living room, And I have this red chair in my living room that's got one of his blankets on it. He didn't want to throw up on his blanket. That much is very clear. Because he was standing on the chair with 2 feet on the arm, and he had vomited, missed the blanket and the chair altogether. Thanks, bud. Threw up a pile on the carpet, and I walk out there. He jumps down. I have like a balcony in my apartment that has a glass door. I open the glass door, goes outside, throws up another pile.
Dude, where is he getting all the throw up from, bro? Like, where does this dog create it?
I don't know. I really don't know. But he throws up out there. I'm like, God damn it. I clean that up, and I walk in from cleaning up the vomit on the patio, and there is another dump load of crap in my kitchen. Like, where are you getting this? And that's what I said to him. Like, where is all this coming from, bud? So I call a different vet. This time I called an animal hospital. They're like, well, it sounds like he has not been digesting his food. And I'm like, well, can I bring him in? And the guy said this, the gal at this animal hospital said the same thing. No, I really wouldn't. There's a flu going around. Make sure that he does not eat table food. And I said, I never feed him table food. Ever, never, ever do I feed him table food. I just do not. He eats twice a day at 5:30 or 7:30 in the morning and 5:30 at night. That's it. And she's like, yeah, I really wouldn't worry about it. And I'm like, she's like, what's his appetite like? And I kid you not, at that moment, he was pushing his food dish around the kitchen like, hey, fat ass, you ate. Where's my food?
It is what it is.
And I said, well, it's funny you say that. He's actually pushing his food dish around the kitchen right now. And she's like, well, I would feed him if he's telling you he's hungry. Feed him 3 small meals between now and 8 o'clock. Because if you do have to bring him in the morning, he needs to be fasted for 12 hours. And we open at 8 o'clock. Okay. I'm going to feed him. I have some rice and chicken that we've made for him. And I put it in a little dish. I heat it up in the microwave for 10 seconds. And he crushed it. You know what happened. You know what happened. I'm sitting here writing the show today, and he throws up all over his freshly washed blanket and his bed. And it's just like, dude, I don't want to keep I'm going to fast him for 24 hours. He's just laying here sleeping now, and he's not actually sleeping. But his ears are up, and you know, I just think that I made a huge mistake yesterday. And I've told you guys this. And Jake and I talked about this when he was in Seattle. My dog is very popular. When I walk him, every time I take him for a walk, somebody will stop and pet him. And like other dog owners love him because my dog gets along with most dogs. And yesterday I was walking into my building, and I have a bank of elevators because I live up on the upper floors of this building. And a lady was petting him, and she's like, can I give him a salmon treat?
Oh, damn.
And usually my answer is absolutely not.
No, you're like militant about it.
And I said yes. And she gave him 2 of them. And today's thrown up. Huge mistake. Huge mistake.
That sucks, man.
But I
such
just
a pain in the ass.
I don't know, man. I am. It's brutal when your dog is not well. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And I hate when he's sick. Because he's 13, so we're on the clock here. Right? He's super healthy. I think he gets 4 walks a day, like super healthy. But I'll be honest with you. I have not been putting a jacket on him when I take him outside. And the vet today said they're like humans. They get colds. They get flu. He's like a human. Yeah, he's like a human. They get colds and flus. And the jacket that I have for him, I have a Costco sweatshirt, a little Kirkland dog sweatshirt, and I have a jacket that Velcros around him. Well, he takes after his own old man in that he's hung like a horse. And so he doesn't like the Velcro straps on this jacket because it Velcros his pecker. So
This guy.
I ordered him. You guys will think I'm kidding. I'm not. I ordered him a puffer jacket.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you ordered him a holster.
No, I ordered him a puffer jacket. So
does it have a hood on it too and everything?
I don't know. It got delivered. It's downstairs. I'll get it after the show. But it
Velcros his pecker.
It does because it Velcros underneath. It does not have a hood on it. It's kind of funny though. You guys won't be able to see this, I don't think. Can you guys see that?
Oh yeah, that looks cool. I like that. Why didn't you get a blue one? You're a BYU fan. Had to get a red one?
My wife wanted red. My wife wanted red. She wanted red. So yeah, that's the puffer I got him. It's downstairs.
I mean, it looks nice. Really, it looks nice.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, he's on the clock. He's 13, so we probably have 2.
Yeah, but he's pretty
2
healthy,
years.
dude. No, he's got. I think he's got more than that. You think it's only 2 years? I mean, I
don't know.
5 is probably a stretch, but I still think he's got 3 to 5 years. I feel like you're walking him. He's pretty healthy. I mean, barring some accident, you can tell when dogs start to go downhill, like when they're less active and their willingness goes down, and like he's still running around and peeing on everything, and
he jumps up on stuff.
Yeah, he's still got all that energy. I think you got time still, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, Django does have nicer clothing than half the chat. That's not wrong. It's true. Yeah. Joey says Velcro the pecker, Jake's new X handle. True. Celeste Moa has flipped his commitment from Tennessee to Utah. There you go. He says, sorry, Jake. I don't know why you're sorry.
I don't know why you're saying sorry.
Get him a North Face sleeveless vest. I tried. North Face doesn't make dog clothes that I could find. Monty, your dog should count its lucky stars that its owner isn't Secretary Gnome. Jesus. Yeah, you're not kidding about that. Stomach bugs suck. Yes, they do. Salmon treats. Nope. Poor Django. Dude, it was a mistake. Is your dog a pug? No, he's a rat terrier. I'd ask him to come over here, but he'd probably throw up on me. Yeah, and I think you're right. That's my issue. I should not have given it, because what's terrible is I'm not going to leave him alone tonight. My wife got us tickets to her company. She works at a big tech company, and her company is putting on a orchestra performance tonight.
Wow, that's
they
awesome.
paid an orchestra to come in, and we were going to go, and now I'm not going, and I don't think she's going to go. So it's brutal when your dog is sick. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. My dog got super sick when they ate a joint roach. Well, duh. J54 Go Sooner said, I had a mutt growing up who lived to 21 years old, so don't count out your pup. I hope you're right. Dude, he's supposed to go to daycare this weekend because I'm going to Paris, so we're going to board him. And he did really good flying. He flew this trip to LA.
Yeah, it seemed like it wasn't that big a deal.
No, it really wasn't. It was actually not a big deal at all. And he did really well. We drugged him. We gave him some, I don't even know what you call it. Some Xannies.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is.
Some roofies.
Yeah, we roofied him.
Yeah.
But he was great. He was awesome. And then he got home. Everything's been great. And then this morning he started vomiting all over me. So,
hopefully it subsides, man. That's a pain in the ass, dude.
Yeah. It really is. That is the problem. He's getting all nervous and stressed because he knows you're leaving for a week or so. Well, it's 2 weeks. Nah, he don't even know. But he was supposed to go to doggy day camp Saturday because we want him to be comfortable with the place we're taking him. He's been there a couple of times. They were going to brush his teeth and shit. I wonder if I shouldn't have him go there.
Because he'll get sick?
Or what if he's got a cold, he'll get other dogs sick.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
I don't know either. What do you guys think of this Jackson Dart hit? I actually think this hit is totally fine. And first of all, how bad are the New York Giants? Because this whole situation today with Jackson Dart, and it's ridiculous. Here's Jackson Dart defending his style of play.
Look, like, I understand the question, but like this is football. Like, I'm gonna get hit if I'm in the pocket or outside the pocket. Like, I feel like I've played this way my whole entire life. You know, hopefully everybody can take a second to watch my tape going back to high school and realize that this is not a shock. Like, I play the game aggressively. I took one hit that people are talking about. I slid, got out of the way of a lot of hits. So I appreciate people, you know, wanting to, you know, me to be healthy and all that stuff. And I want to be healthy too. But I play this game aggressive. So I'm not going to just change how I play the game.
Holy cow, is that the wrong answer? And you look at some of the hits he took. I mean, boom.
Bro.
Good clean hit by Christian Ellis, tiptoeing down the sideline. But look at some of these other hits like they laid the wood. Dude, like look at that hit. Like, surprised they didn't flag that, but look at that, destroyed that giant player's helmet. And that's an all-pro kick.
This is your style of play. I don't even mind the style of play, right? Like I don't mind the fact that you're a more physical quarterback. You know, you're a bigger bodied quarterback. Like, I'm good with that, dude. But you are not unique. You are not a standout guy in the sense that you're the one that can absorb all these hits, that you're the one that somehow can have, you know, a middle linebacker in the NFL bearing down on you on the sideline because you didn't want to get out of bounds. And those 2 extra yards you gained are not worth you taking another trip to the blue tent so your head coach can get fired a little faster. It's not worth it, dude. Like, just step out of bounds, go back to the huddle, get the first down on the next play, get the extra yard on the next play. And that's what's tough is that it's Jackson Dart needs to adjust, and he will eventually adjust. But at the same time, the New York Giants need to adjust, right? The New York Giants need to get to a place where they're sending him the message that, dude, this isn't good enough anymore. Like, get your ass out of bounds. Like, we picked you where we picked you. You're the guy. Yeah. We want you to be the guy. You want to be the guy, but you can't be the guy if you're on the injury report and not in the game. Like, that's how it works, dude. So we need you to mature and stop fighting the process on this one.
Yeah, here's Christian Ellis talking about his hit on Jackson Dart.
You know, during the play, I saw the scramble, started chasing him down. He started tiptoeing on the sideline, and I thought he was just going to go out of bounds, but then I saw him tiptoeing. So I was like, you know, stay in bounds. What am I supposed to do? You know, we play hard on defense. We try to bring life to this team. So that's all I was trying to do, is just do my job and hit anything in the whites.
And you did that. I don't think it's a dirty hit at all.
No, I don't think it's a dirty hit in any way, shape, or form. And by the way, his technique was excellent. Used the shoulder, not the helmet, dropped him, did everything you were supposed to do. Like, so that's why I say, get your ass out of bounds.
It isn't flag football. It isn't. And I think a lot of this is the New York Giants are a mess, right? And you listen, like Jackson Dart's a great example of this. Listen to Joe Schoen talking about Jackson Dart.
Jackson was a guy that was on our radar very early in the scouting process before, you know, Daves was even aware of him because he was coaching. And anytime you're going to make a decision on a first-round quarterback, that's going to be an organizational decision. And it was an organizational decision. Credit to my staff. They did a phenomenal job gathering information, understanding the landscape of the draft, that, you know, we could get Abdul at 3, and then when's the re-entry point into the first round where we could still get a quarterback. And again, kudos to my staff, Brandon Brown, Tim McDonald, you know, Dennis Hickey, all those guys. The research they did was spot on. And if you're going to make the decision to move back up into the first round to get a quarterback, all hands are on deck.
So you're taking credit for drafting Dart. Here's the problem with that, dude. You categorize Jackson Dart in the pre-draft war room video that we have as a rolling of the dice moment. You had Brian Daboll in the chair, everybody in the war room, and you said, hey, well, if you guys like it, then F it. Let's roll the dice, dude. Like, dude, you didn't want to take him yet. Now you're saying he's a good pick. Like,
I mean, we can get it done in 2 picks with Denver. I'm just trying to see if we wait, trying to get as much information as we can. But Pittsburgh's a quarterback needy team, but they're looking to move back too. So like, nobody's gonna remember a 3rd-round pick if you're right. So you guys are convicted in him. You believe in him. We did the process. He checked all the boxes. Let's roll the dice.
Bro, like, nobody forgot what you said about your franchise quarterback, dude. You're a poser, dude. Like,
yeah,
come
but
on.
then there is this Abdul Carter stuff that I think is a big deal. Like, Abdul Carter was suspended for the first, series of this game. And I think his post-game answer was terrible.
What happened?
Shit happens.
What happened?
I ain't gonna get into detail. Like I said, shit happens.
What is this?
Why, Abdul? Ask me the same question I just answered.
Was it justified?
Yeah, I mean, I let my team down today. First 2 drives, I was out. They scored 17 points. I take responsibility for that. I gotta be out there. I gotta do better.
Well, but was there a problem? Because Giants interim coach Mike Kafka doesn't necessarily agree with that.
Mike, why was Abdul not out there the first couple series?
That was a coach's decision, my decision.
Why'd you make that decision?
Just based on how we went during the week. Just that was the decision I wanted to make.
Another disciplinary reason?
No, it was just my decision to not play him.
There was a report that he was missed part of or all of a team event. Is that true?
No, it was just strictly my decision.
How concerning is it now? This is the second time in 3 weeks he's had to be benched in this way.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but that's the way we kind of work with it this week.
I mean, Mike, I imagine that when you benched him the first time, you hope that the message would get through. So the fact that this now 2 weeks later, it's the same exact thing again. I mean, or something similar again. I mean, what?
I would just say we have great communication, and he's one of my favorite players on the team, and that was one thing that we talked about, and it was my decision to not play him this week.
Then why did it happen again?
Whose decision was it?
Bro.
I still am unclear. They're a mess. And Joe Shane keeping his job. And I mean, I just don't know how you justify this stuff. And I want to justify this and I want to feel like it's going to be okay, but it's not going to be okay.
Yeah.
When your quarterback gets lit up like that and then says, I'm not going to change the way I played. Nobody's listening to anybody. There's no leadership.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the media deserves a lot of credit here. On this show, we talk all about how, like, hey, people need to ask real questions. And, we don't have it today, but, like, Sean was asked a million times, like, hey, Daboll got fired. You didn't. Why were you not held accountable? Well, it was an organizational decision. Then you've got Kafka being like, oh, it was my decision, it's my decision on these different issues. And I just keep saying this, like, isn't the New York Giants organization supposed to be a Tiffany organization, the class of the NFL, like one of the leaders in the NFL, like an organization that is a New York team that's supposed to be leading the way forward? Like, you guys haven't been that in how long? I mean, I would honestly have to Google, like, when the last year of Tom Coughlin and Eli Manning was, and when the last time, like, you guys were relevant. But holy crap, dude, like, how do you mess it up this bad? How does it get to a place where both New York teams are absolutely awful, and I'm still tuning in because I enjoy watching Jackson Dart stir it up with the defense? Like, that's the thing with the Dart thing. I like the kid's mentality. I like that he embraces the contact. But at the same time, I'm like, dude, get your ass out of bounds. Like, get out of bounds.
Jake, but not everybody can be Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
And not everybody is the feel-good story that Ben Johnson is. It moved. It moved. I'm not going to lie. It moved a lot, not a little. It didn't. It was a full twitch. I'm not going to lie. Like, that is.
There's some wild shit going on right now.
Dude, that is a year on from Ebersucks getting fired and we being hopeless to now the sex machine, Ben Johnson, getting the entire city of Chicago free hot dogs because they won and he took his shirt off in the locker room is unbelievable. He got this. The story is incredible. So, and I can't remember the name of the place, but isn't it the Wiener Circle? I think did it. Yeah, the Wiener Circle.
The Glizzy Circle
is giving away free hot dogs because this dude took his shirt off after a win. Like, this is as good as it gets. Yes, get the Velcro out. It's unbelievable, dude. It's unbelievable how good this is. And yeah, he is my little blue pill.
Macaque.
Thankfully, I don't need one because flagpole. But I just think that this is what football should be about. I also love that he is saying the Bears are winning in spite of the passing game, because I know that we have had big disagreements on this show about okay. I cannot tell you how much I hate StreamYard. Like, stop with the stupid timer. Anyway, Ben Johnson says the Bears are winning in spite of their passing game, not because of it. That's exactly on message, because the wide receivers are not running routes and Caleb Williams isn't as accurate as he needs to be.
Yeah.
I love that it's so hard to keep a team motivated when you're winning. This is how you do it. Take your shirt off and then criticize them later. And I think it's exactly, it's exactly what the Chicago Bears need. And I think the Chicago Bears are one of the shockingly good teams in the NFL.
Somehow, some way.
You know, Johnny's being a red ass and says the Steelers are losing because of their lack of a passing game. Jake fully agrees with you. Aaron Rodgers is what's wrong with the Steelers. You know, it's fine. James, I'm not reading your comment because you're not going to jinx this team.
Well, that's the issue, isn't it?
They're not TCU. They're not Preston Stone's dong. They're not any of this. They're none of your dead man walking teams.
I think I've hit it every time.
I mean, you quite literally cost Ollie Gordon a Heisman Trophy. You keep the Bears out your mouth. You already ruined the Chicago Cubs for me. Like, what do we even? Ding dong.
Honestly, I'd start stroking guys.
You better. You better.
You know, these guys are going to come
a lot.
A lot.
Sicko.
A lot.
I didn't say that. Stop it.
Dude, that doesn't mean you're not blacklisting them.
The problem is you think their name and they die.
Yeah.
I need to go home.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you do.
You think their name and they die. That is the issue.
Yeah, you think Jimmy's got a blacklist. Oak State James's blacklist is death.
I ain't even playing with you, man. You
Oh no.
Aaron Rodgers is having trouble in the passing game because of all the Bengay he's using is causing vapors to get in his eyes. And the fact that he still uses a third grade chin strap. That was a big conversation this week, because when he got sacked, when he was taken forcibly from behind, probably
I think I've hit it every time.
Because he wears a third grade chin strap, the face mask drove in and broke his nose. Damn it. Stop it.
Well, Monty, let me tell you about Kansas City now. I'm a Chiefs fan. I spent 13 minutes.
Fuck up, Donnie.
But no, I spent 13 minutes eating glizzies off the roller at a QT up there in Kansas City, and all of a sudden, I'm Mahomes' brother.
I don't care if you spent a week in Chicago, a day, an hour, that you had a layover at O'Hare. I don't care.
Wind the clocks back a year.
I'm happy that the Bears, see, and now you have to do it. And now you have to do it. Now we've gone too far. Now the Chicago Bears will not win another game.
Fuck you. Fuck you. You suck.
Oak State Eberflus. Like, this is, you just couldn't
It's like
help
a crime right here, dude. You just committed a Monty Show crime.
yourself.
Yeah.
You just couldn't help yourself. We don't agree on anything in sports. I love the Green Bay Packers. And now there's no way to get that stank off of this game this week. You just couldn't help yourself. You had to say nice things about the Bears.
Dude, you probably like olives as well. You're probably that guy. Olives and blue cheese and, you know.
It's absolutely embarrassing that you're sitting here rooting for the Packers. So you
stupid?
talk about the
Are
Bears.
You a stupid person?
Who would do that? Like, honestly.
We were almost 3 shows in and you hadn't screwed me yet. And now here we go.
Brother.
Yeah, and now we're getting Blues Cheese references in the comments section.
Dude, James, this is all on you, bro.
Damn it.
Look at this. He's doubling down.
No real Bears fans would say, I love the Green Bay Packers. Their fans were cheeseheads. How ugly is that? Bro,
what are
you're
we
gonna
doing?
wait a minute. You're this guy and you're asking about ugly people? Are you kidding me? With those teeth, you're asking about ugly people. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Bro. Dude.
God.
Bro.
God, I
Dude, you said with those teeth?
It's God. It had been a week since Oak State James said something utterly ridiculous on this show.
In God's name, image, and likeness.
I know that we were bound to go back to Valhalla together with James. I understand it. Why did it have to
fucking do? I'd have already done it.
Why did it have to be Bears and Packers, God? Why?
I pray for moments like that.
Why couldn't he have jinxed the Dallas Cowboys? Oh, he did already. He said Dak sucks, and now Dak's probably going to win the MVP award. Why, James?
This is James knocking on your door, Monty. I'm here to ruin the Bears season. And, cleavage hugger guy can be done for the year.
I hate Green Bay.
What are you talking about?
hate
Like,
Jordan
what do you
Love.
mean, dude?
I want Green Bay to be 0-16.
So now they're going to be really good. Why would you comment that?
Everybody is outraged.
Why would you comment that, bro?
It was a good show. We had a good run today up until right now. Fight on Natties. Monty, is James like that dude they call Mush in the movie A Bronx Tale? They called the dude Mush because he cannot win a single bet. Everything he touches turns to mush. Yes. Everything James talks about in a positive way. Hoss Hengy, Preston Stone, Ollie Gordon, Dak Prescott. I'm a Chiefs fan. Chiefs are missing the playoffs. Oak State, Mike Gundy's the greatest coach we've ever known. Fired.
Yeah, look at this energy right here.
Oak State hasn't won a conference game in 2 years. Since Oak State James showed up. Hoss Hengy. Oh, look at the defensive tackle they got, Monty. It's the end of the world. Yeah, how'd that work out? Yeah, shirtless Ben Johnson is a god. Yeah, he is. Great week to be a Coug fan until Saturday. Couldn't have pronounced your love of Green Bay for a week. Couldn't have pronounced your love of Green Bay a week ago, James. Yeah. Why do it now?
But
why? Okay, prove that I am wrong. Tech 31, BYU 24.
Dude, you're always wrong. Your takes are ass.
We don't have to prove that you're wrong.
You prove it for us, dude. Like
The guys in-
okay,
the guys in Vegas,
Gundy, all
the
of
guys
them.
in Vegas, they set the lines opposite of what you say because that's how you roll. I never said he was the best coach ever. He has more wins at Oak State than any other coach, which would make him. What about the Ford kid? What about the Ford kid?
Josh Ford.
Oh, greatest. Come on, we got to talk about the fire crotch tight end at Oak State, Monty.
And I want that known.
What about that? Like, dude, it's fine. It's fine. You know. Real quick before we get out of here today.
Then there's this. This is embarrassing, dude. That something like this would happen.
So I was walking the dog yesterday, and I had the sling bag on. And, you know, I am rocking it, right? Because we're good-looking men on this show.
The biggest load that we've seen.
You know, I am ready to dominate the sling bag. And then these late teen, young 20 scumbags walk up. And they're like, oh, hey, nice man purse, bud. and it hurt. It hurt. It made me think of Oak State James and the monkey face. You know, is it wrong to wear a man purse? Is it a man purse if you're wearing a sling bag? That's not the bag I was talking about. Why did you put that up there? I don't have a problem with it. I think it is, Jake, is it short-sighted to be teasing people for wearing men purses or I'm not even carrying a purse. It's a sling bag. Right?
I mean, I think that it is, you know, it's a style thing that you're either pro sling bag or you're anti sling bag. There is no middle ground. There is no like, I kind of like it. You know, I think that, you know, I would disagree that it's a purse. I think that that's throwing shade. I think that a sling bag, a satchel, a chest bag, okay, cool, whatever you want to call it. But, you know, I think that it's not for everybody. I think that you have to want to be unique and different. You have to want to, you know, do it a little differently, you know, and that's fine. I have one. I like it. It's nice to have one. It's nice not to have a bunch of crap in your pockets all the time. You know, like you don't know that until you try a sling bag. You know, that's the thing. So you would never know that. Yeah. Like it's nice. Like on my car, one of the gripes I have with my car, the few gripes, is the key fob. The alarm button on the key fob is placed such that it's easy to push it. Like when you lean on the side of the car to get out of the car, you know, like it's easy to set it off, but that doesn't happen anymore because the keys are just in the sling bag now, you know, like it's just a little stuff like that you wouldn't be able to really resolve without it, you know? So I don't know. I just think I think there's always going to be the little runt running around that's, you know, yapping. That's always been a thing in life.
So you're in favor, dude, these timers on the banner are making me crazy.
Yeah, it's a new update from StreamYards. But if you highlight it, you can click off. Like if you hover over it, you know, you can click off.
Whatever.
And it turns the timer off.
Whatever. But what about Yoshinobu Yamamoto? Yoshinobu Yamamoto, the pitcher for the Doyers. He's a bad guy.
Okay,
look at that bag.
That's not a sling bag, dude.
Well, look at this bag. That's a $45,000 Gucci bag.
Yeah, that's not a sling bag. That's just a bag.
So is it wrong? Is it wrong? Because I have this duffel bag, but in black. Am I wrong for rocking the duffel?
No, not at all. I think people like the duffel a lot.
Would I be wrong to rock this bag? Like, where's the line of dude bag versus a purse? Like, what's the
well, the line is the chest bag is what people would call a man purse. haters will call it a man purse. This here is not a man purse. That's a bag. That's like a, you know, like a duffel or like just a regular bag.
Okay. I mean, listen, I think I would absolutely rock this. This thing looks incredible to me. I'm a huge fan of the bag, and I'm trying to find out how much that bag costs. I think it's $40,000.
Well, I can tell you right now, I'm not spending 40 bands on a bag. Not happening.
Yeah, that's a $40,000 bag that he's got right there. It's a Hermes, a Birkin in his team colors. So
great, man.
That's a $40,000 bag, bruh. That feels excessive. No?
Excessive by who's?
I mean, if you're making his money, I guess it's not excessive.
Dude's making that like every 3 hours. Like,
and especially after the World Series performance.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful bag.
Yeah, the other one is the one of him getting on the plane. I like that bag a lot.
The duffel.
Yeah.
This one right here.
Yep, love that. Love the teal.
I kind of like StreamYard is just killing me right now. I like this bag more. Look at this bag. This is the bag, and he posted this photo of it. That's a gorgeous bag.
Yeah, it is.
That is a gorgeous bag. This one's really nice. You saw it. I have this bag, but in black.
Yeah, I think that looks great. I love the Louis product. Absolutely. Great bags. Great.
But where's the line? I guess that's my question. Where's the line?
In terms of what? In terms of what? How much to spend?
What's a man purse versus what's acceptable? What is acceptable for bags?
I'm telling you, I'm good with a sling bag. I'm good with a duffel. Like, it's just a style thing, man. Like, I think if you're uncomfortable wearing a sling, don't wear a sling. It's fine, you know. But like, I do think it has its advantages. I think that, you know, again, like I said, if you're traveling, it's super convenient. You know, you can have your passport, your phone, and your credit card that you brought with you in your sling bag, and you never have to worry about anybody stealing anything from you. You know, you just don't have to worry about any of that. You know, like, I don't personally think there's anything wrong with it, but you know, again, if people want to call it a merce or whatever, you know,
a merce. Wow. You had that one on the ready, didn't you? Because I also think, and this, I promise this will be the last comment or the last photo of bags. I'd rock this bag all day long. And that's pretty much a woman's purse.
That's a man purse right there. See, that's a purse.
But that thing is amazing. That thing is amazing. I'd rock that thing all day long. You know, you're asking a puffy vest guy his take on man purses. I am.
Okay, that's fair.
That's
fair.
That is a purse. Yes, it is. No.
I mean, it's fair, dude. I get it, dude.
No.
That's gonna be a nah for me, brah. Hey, brah. See, I knew most of you guys you would be out. You'd be on the exit ramp when I brought up.
For me, brah.
When I brought up the man purse, he's like, "Hey, brah, I'm out." I'm no Yamamoto. I totally get that. But I'm telling you,
yeah, I don't think you're a Chanel guy. You're a Louis guy. You're a Louis guy.
Hand me this right here. I'm all in.
Hermes is solid.
I'm all in on that. I totally get it. Yeah, here I am. Yeah, here I am.
Yeah, bro.
Here I am.
Yep.
Absolutely. The chest bag is a merce. No, I don't think it is.
I don't regret those decisions.
I'm getting the brown sling with the green accents on it. I'm going to have that bag for Paris.
Here I am.
And I am going to rock it. Dune and Burke or Coach? Louis. I'm absolutely a Louis guy.
Yeah, Louis,
I don't
for sure.
understand the obsession with bags, dude.
Get one and you will.
Ooh, you'll
Get
understand
one
it.
and you will understand it. I didn't get it for a while.
When did you figure it out?
I figured it out. I figured out that I really liked a high quality duffel bag when I got my Jordan duffel bag. And Jordan isn't Louis, but it is I would say that one of the nicer duffels I've ever had. And
I would
you
agree.
just appreciate the handles on the bag being higher quality. You appreciate, again, that picture of him getting on the plane with that print, that's a beautiful bag. It looks cool. It's a status symbol. It's enjoyable to wear. I'm a big believer that if you dress nice, you're going to have a better day 9 days out of 10.
You feel good, you look good. Yep.
Yeah.
Totally.
I just think there's that whole thing. And I think that plays right into it, So whether you're a Jordan guy, a Louis guy, whatever it is, I do think that a lot of dudes have insecurities about sling bags. Hey, if you're not comfortable wearing it, cool, bro. What I'm telling you is that I'd rather have the sling bag and wear it and enjoy it than have a bunch of stuff in my pockets. I did not realize how much I liked not having things in my pockets until I had a sling bag. You don't get the chance to not understand that until you have another place to put your phone.
Then you go somewhere that's a tourist trap where you're probably going to get, ripped, and you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
That blue one looks like a granny purse. That thing's amazing. If it fits a laptop, then I'm really in. Spencer Harmon for $10. I was gifted a membership. Oh, nice, Spencer. I'm glad you got one. You nailed the BYU news over the last few days, so I'll join for another month. Jake, knock it off with the BYU hypotheticals yesterday. Hey, man.
Well, dude, sorry. Listen, if I'm the reason that you only made it a month, my bad, dude. Sorry.
I am very proud of the work we did on that story. We do not take being right lightly. We're not trying to be first. We're trying to be right. And I think the thing that really bothers me is there were so many people Kalani got on a private jet and flew to Penn State and interviewed and toured the campus. That never happened. Oh, he signed a contract and then reneged. That never happened. He said he was taking the job. That never happened. That never happened.
That's bullshit.
Right? That never happened. The thing that I think Kalani did not use Penn State, to the point where he only engaged with Penn State because he wanted a raise at BYU, which is another narrative. That never happened. Did Kalani Sitake leverage his conversations with Penn State? Yes, he did. Did he leverage it to get himself paid? No, he did not. Did he get paid because of it? Yes. But the thing that you have to remember about BYU is BYU did something in a 3-day period they have never done in the history of that athletic department. They paid 3-4 times more in football salaries than they have ever paid, and they have never been comfortable leading the line in football salaries. He's arguably the most well-paid coach now in the Big 12. And we don't know what everybody's making, but Kalani's making $9 million now, as we reported first on Monday. And the idea that BYU, in a 3-day stretch, 3 days, completely flipped their philosophy on paying somebody is unheard of. Unheard of.
Life comes at you fast, bro.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I got a nice backpack when I need to take the laptop and other stuff. Love a good backpack. I have one too. I have a Nomadic that's outstanding. Less things in the pocket means more room for pocket pool. Wow.
All right. Okay. Giggity has pulled his weight in the chat today.
I do like it. Pocket pool. Fight on Natties. Jakey, so you're not feeling good today, or did you just get dressed in the dark? Are you not liking the Solomon shirt that he's got on?
Quite frankly, fuck you.
Gumby, I legit don't see the utility in a man bag. Oh, dude, you
You've
would.
never had a man bag.
Yeah. Dude that abides. I'm not judging. I'm definitely entertained, though. It's not for me, but I'm enjoying the hell out of you guys enjoying it. Oh, that's funny. Go Cookies. Yeah, like the crumble thing. And the crumble thing's a great narrative. I think it's a good story.
Elite troll job.
That never happened. The crumble cookie guy didn't save Kalani Sitake.
But surely he deserves some credit for getting people fired up. I mean, that's got to matter on some level.
On some level. He did, and it was a great marketing play. I like Jake's ensemble today. It looks like Monty's chair.
Okay.
It's not wrong. So can we finish with a hard reality? Jake, do you have the graphic on those on the spending numbers?
I can get it really quick. Hang on.
Oh, you guys, did you see this Black Friday, Cyber Monday data that came out today?
You guys know that it's been like we all kind of agree that it's been a bit slower, right? Like we kind of all feel that. Things are more expensive. It's just not great, dude. And these stats are, I'm trying to get it for you. Hold on. But
this
these
is
stats
tough.
are really kind of tough to accept. Let me ask this question. How many of you guys in the chat are financing Christmas gifts or things like that? Like financing Black Friday deals. So, hey, interest free for a year, or getting deals through Shopify or whatever it might be, right? Like we all know that's set up where you can buy something and you have a way to finance it for like 2 years or a year, depending on how busy or how much it costs. Well, these are the stats right here. So,
dude, look at these.
9.1 increase spend from last year. And in theory, that would be great. Here's the problem. It's a negative 1% in total item volume from last year. Prices were 7%
things are more
higher.
expensive.
Yep, things are more expensive. Consumers bought on average 4.1% fewer items and 11% increase on buy now, pay later use. Klarna specific use is up 45% by volume year over year, meaning roughly 11% of all Black Friday spending was financed through buy now, pay later, and 84% of all purchases were financed by credit cards, where 67% of those consumers expect not to pay the full balance in the first month, aka you're paying more than the cost of the good because of the interest. Dude,
please
that
don't
is
do that.
Not a good sign. Like, that is not a good sign in any way, shape, or form, man. At all, even a little bit.
Yeah, it's brutal. And I really hope that you guys, I know money's tight. The buy now, pay later thing, please don't do it. It is the only way I would ever tell you to do it is if you get 0%. And if you get 0%, that's great. Please don't do it. Please don't do it.
But it terrifies me.
It is.
Dude, the shortage of money that people have right now is terrifying. I don't want to get into politics and all that, and all. I'm not here for the drama, but just purely like, dude, I feel for people who live in states where gas costs more. I feel for people who live in places where I mean, just quite literally everything is more expensive. And it I'm talking about go to the store and buy like a banana and like 3 other items, and you're not getting out of there for under $20. Like,
we were talking about it this weekend. I got back from LA Saturday afternoon, and we went to Costco and the grocery store because we had no food in our house. Bro, we spent $86 on like 7 things. I think we got 7 or 8 things, and it was like $86. Sunday
what?
I went to fill up my tank at Costco, $69. Now, my last tank of gas lasted me a month because I just don't drive. But it's $69 for a tank of gas. Like, it's just something that I really hope you guys don't finance Christmas. Please don't finance Christmas. It's so expensive. And It's terrifying to me. And I know that we're sitting here talking about $40,000, $40,000 handbags. I just hope that people don't finance Christmas. I really hope that's not the thing. Yeah, I saw that, Mike. Costco's suing Trump over tariffs. The tariffs are still, I think, aren't the tariffs still at the Supreme Court? We haven't gotten a ruling on that. We just continue to be in this spiral where things are so expensive.
Yes.
The jobs report is more terrifying, Jake. Not political. It's true. A lot of unfortunate factors hitting simultaneously. Hang on to your money, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big believer right now. Like, not only hang on to your money, but evaluate it, right? Like, I mean, if there are opportunities to save costs, this, right? I mean, you guys, selling Mrs. Monty's car because you don't need a second car now, like anything like that you can do right now, in my opinion, is a really smart move right now. Like, it just, the more that you can widen that gap of like, here's our nut every month. How much can we widen that gap with the money that we're making? What uncomfortable things can we tolerate to create a safer financial picture? That, I believe, right now, for most people, needs to be the mindset, honestly.
What's your college football teams? Notre Dame, buddy. Jake is an Alabama fan. I am a Notre Dame Fighting Irish fan. So Jake lives in Eugene, Oregon, for those of you who don't know, but I would call you a Lanning fan. I would not call you
I'm a Lanning fan. I wouldn't say I'm a Duck fan. And what's hard is that as a kid, I didn't really have this is my college football team. Like, growing up in Chicago, the obvious would be Notre Dame, but like, it just wasn't like that for me. I never really had a college football team. And I say it every year on the show, like, I'm just here for the big games. That's what I'm here for. And
you're an Alabama fan.
I mean, I like Alabama. I do root for Alabama. I'm not from there. I don't have any claim to Alabama, but I just,
I would say I have Notre Dame as my passionate team 100%, but I'm probably, Texas is probably my number 2.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had you have a 1A and you're all in, but you pay attention to Texas.
Unless you're James, and then all of your teams are your ones.
Yeah. Notre Dame might get screwed if BYU wins. Well, not might. But listen, we don't deserve to be in the college football playoff. And if you're new to the show, I've talked about this all year. I said it after we lost A&M. We're going to run the table, and everybody's going to be like, Notre Dame. We don't belong in the college football playoff.
Yeah.
We don't. Tuck-Fexus. Well, never heard of that team. Tuck-Fexus, you're such a jerk. Costs many pesos to live in the Paso. Okay. Kurt Myers, if Trump gets rid of income tax with tariffs, I'm all on it's not going to happen. You can't. And again, I'm not being political. I don't even want to go there, but you can't keep tariffs in place in the long term. It destroys your economy. And, Jake, do you have a team in any sport that you just absolutely pull for?
I would say that in baseball, it was the Cubs as a kid. It was the Giants during the 2010s because we lived there, and some of my favorite players were on that team. I've kind of lost touch with the Giants just because we had moved to Salt Lake, and now I'm in Eugene.
Now you have the Bees.
I had the Bees, but I would say that the Cubs have been my team for most of my life.
You're serious?
Yeah, I'm being serious. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm going to give you a chance because you're kind of a jerk face about this. I want people to understand this. I am a diehard Chicago Cubs. I don't have B teams in a lot of sports. The Chicago Bears, screw everybody else. The Chicago Cubs, the Chicago Blackhawks, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And now I'm not a Bulls fan anymore. I'm just going to say it out loud.
The NBA has forced people to not be a team thing. It's a players' league.
I agree. And if anything, I am a Laker fan. If anything.
Yeah.
Having covered Kobe and Shaq and been there for so many years, like, the Bulls have completely lost me until Reinsdorf is no longer among the living, which he's not. I think he's dead. He's just a skin suit. But my point is, I won't be a Bulls fan. I grew up a diehard Bulls fan, but I don't have B teams in most sports. I don't give a rat's ass if any other team ever wins another baseball game outside of the Chicago Cubs. I'm a season ticket holder. I invest in that team. I live and die with that team. Your generation doesn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Chicago Blackhawks fan. Watching Bedard in Las Vegas last night, I was like, damn,
Incredible.
dude. If it were Jake and I could probably convince him to drive down there. Like, loved it. Loved it. But I think millennials, you guys don't have a lot of teams. You have a lot of players, which I totally get.
Yeah, I would say that the Cubs and the Hawks are like my two. I've been a Hawks fan my whole life. That's never changed. That's never. I was all in before they were good with Jonathan Taves and Patrick Kane and Corey Crawford and Duncan Keith and all those guys. And I'm still a Hawks fan. I almost bought one of their black jerseys they just released, but I wasn't willing.
So close.
I was
so close.
I wasn't willing to pay. It was like $150 for an authentic, and I was just like, yeah, I probably don't need to do that right now. But
when I'm going to Paris, dude, like I'm not. Yeah.
So
I don't mean to start one here. Genuinely curious, Jake. You are too sincere not to have a fave.
Yeah, I would say Cubs and Hawks are my two, my two teams. I would say the Bears are the team that I have. They've been the football team of my life growing up in Chicago, but I can't claim to be like, oh man, I was all over the Caleb Williams move, or I've just been all about it. I'm glad they're winning, and I'm glad they're better for sure. But if there was an NFL team I was going to root for, it would be them. And then with college football, yeah, I mean, I would say I fell in love with Nick Saban, man. Nick Saban was my guy. I know that I'm not alone in that. I know he was everyone's guy, but I just really appreciated.
He brought you to college football.
Yeah, he was the guy that brought me into college football before I was ever into college football. And I never, if you go back early in the days of the show on YouTube, like if you filter the show back like to the beginning times, like I wasn't a big college football guy, but
Brett,
like
do you understand we're going into year 11 on this show?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a long time, bro.
It's wild.
I think it's year 6 or 5 on YouTube. I think I'd have to look. Yeah,
but but in the general grand scheme of things, like I'm a North Carolina fan. Like we had a great game with Kentucky last night, but I gotta tell you, watching Duke and Florida last night, unbelievable. Like there's a lot of sports I like. I am not passionate about North Carolina basketball to the point where when the Blackhawks are playing, I find the Blackhawk game. When Chelsea Football Club is playing, I find the Chelsea Football Club. When I go to Europe, I am going to a Chelsea match. Like the Chicago Bears, the Cup, like I'm all in on it.
Yeah.
Fight on Natties wants to know why effing Bama. Because of Nick Saban.
Yeah, because of Nick Saban. That's why.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a poser. I've never lived in Alabama. I've never even been to Alabama. It literally is just that Nick Saban was the dude. He brought me in, and that's kind of it.
Bo Fades. I used to work at the North Face. Can you hook me up? And I couldn't tell you how many times I would try to convince families to not pay their shirts and coats with Klarna at the North Face. Oh my God. Most families didn't listen. It made me sad. Dude, I was at North Face in Seattle the other day, and my wife and I were like, dude, I'm not paying. They had one vest in my size, a Nupsy Retro, $239.
Why?
I'm not paying it. And they have a Canada Goose store at this mall. It's in Bellevue, Washington, which is Beverly Hills. And I think I told you guys this. You can get I think it was $695 for a Canada Goose vest. A vest. It's like $900 for one of their parkas. I'm walking down the street in Seattle yesterday, and it was cold. I must have seen 3 small women wearing Canada Goose jackets. Like, I just can't. And then you're talking about putting it on Klarna? And Klarna's a great service. I'm not using it. I use a firm when I can, like my bikes at Trek are 0%. I get 0% financing through a firm. That's the only time I'll use it. It's the only time I'll use it. And if I can't get 0, I'm not going to pay it. And if I can't pay cash or don't want to, I'm not paying it. I'm not doing it. I am not doing it. I think it's absolutely suicide.
Yep.
Boomer Sooner, go Pack, go.
Yeah, well, that also needs to be talked about.
Texas Rangers, Thunder, my favorite team. You mean the Sonics? What needs to be talked about?
Boomer Sooner. Girlfriend went to Oklahoma, so the Sooners are constantly on TV.
Stop
dude.
it.
And I have to say,
I swear to God, I will choke you out.
I'm not a Sooner fan, but I have been.
Jake?
I will be accountable that I was a John Mateer guy. I did enjoy John's style of play, and I did appreciate that the Sooners beat the crap out of Michigan.
Dude, what happened to you?
What do you mean?
Where did I lose you? Oh man, let me tell you something about Norman, bro.
I mean, I've never been.
Don't go. Don't, dude. It's in the water.
Oh my God! Just like that. Oh.
I like the Sooners too. You guys are disgusting. Carhartt and Carry On Fam. I like Carhartt. The goose is loose. I have one of those short Carhartt jackets. It actually fits me now. I cannot believe how many sizes I am down. If I could explain to you guys, if I could convince you to do Zepbound, if you're overweight, please consider Zepbound. I know it's stupid expensive.
It works.
But it absolutely, you got like, I'm on the verge of a 2X. Last summer I was wearing a 5XL. I am on the verge of a 2X right now. My Patagonia vest is a 2X and it fits. Like, it's crazy. Giggity. Imagine how good that vest will look with your 40K man purse. It'll be amazing. Dude, Giggity.
Such a red ass.
I'm going to get that Yoshinobu Yamamoto bag from my Connect just so you can tell me how good it looks. Because and nobody will admit this. I don't think anybody will admit this. Do you know how much bigger your joint looks when you have a Louis bag on your hand? Do you know how much it's what, and you know,
Can you measure it?
okay, dude, I'm a Michigan fan and a John Mateer guy. He's fun to, you're not a Michigan fan. Stop. I'm a Gumby fan. Yes, you are. I'm an Erdogan guy. Great work gear. Okay. Ergodin. Okay. Frank says, go Gators. Gators are in good shape. Oh, you guys, Mrs. Monty walked in. My wife is so oppressive. She would not let me buy that Nupsy vest at North Face the other day. She's like, you're fat and you're poor. Leave it alone. Put it down, Chubbs.
Fat.
She didn't say that.
Fat.
Yeah. Did you guys hear what Cam Newton said about OJ? I'm telling you, Cam Newton's a scumbag. I don't know anybody that's talking, OJ, Jarenthal, shut up. Cam Newton's a scumbag. I'm telling you now, Cam Newton's a scumbag. Hey, Mrs. Monty. Cam Newton's a scumbag. Plain and simple. Mrs. Monty's got a puffer jacket on right now. I'm telling you, it's all the rage. You know. Tex-Mex, what is this James Franklin crumble cookie thing? James Franklin. What a jerk off. James Franklin gets fired by Penn State, who then gets shut out by everybody else. They tried to get Kalani Sitake. The crumble cookie founder and CEO tweets out that he's stepping in to save the day. Kalani, because Crumble Cookie's a huge Utah company that's a big booster at BYU. Kalani doesn't go to Penn State because, well, nobody's going to Penn State.
Duh.
And so James Franklin at Vodtech, fired by Penn State in October, has Crumble Cookies for all of the recruiting staff.
Hi, this is James. Welcome back.
And then asshole BYU fans sent over a dozen boxes of Crumble Cookies to the Penn State football facility today.
I'm giving you a fucking answer.
So good.
Yeah, bro.
So good.
That is what it is.
Mike Smith, Mrs. Monty doesn't like to be on the show much because of all the pervs in here. Yeah, you guys wind up forearm strengthening. Giggity says we miss Mrs. Monty on the show. She has a big time job now. She doesn't hang out with normals like us.
Peasants.
You know. Monty, are you sure that your wife and not the ghost of your wife's outer appearance, bro? It is what it is. It is what it is. Chad Perling gets the final comment. My number one football team, UTEP. That's a guy who loves him some UTEP. No question about making the playoffs. They finished 131 out of 136 FBS teams. That was between Colorado State and Oregon State. Ooh, I'm hearing, by the way, a Mountain West Pac-12 update's coming. That'll be interesting to see how that plays out. So there you go. El Paso boy, indeed. All right. The Monty Show is always presented by the Advocates at theadvocates.com. The best injury attorneys in the business, you guys. Our pleasure as always. Appreciate you. 2 weeks to go on the show. Then we're off the last 2 weeks of the year. Every year. Going to Paris and London. Everybody ain't able. But Jake is. He's taking Mrs. Monty and I on a big London
with my man purse
vacation because he sold a bunch of his man purses now and stuff. So, advocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. Clear, risk-free advice. And the Advocates remind you, get rid of the distractions. There's a lot going on. It's a busy time of year. Put the phone down, concentrate on the road. Remember, if the worst happens, be ready to get the best at theadvocates.com. Until tomorrow, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.